morning, everyone. Welcome to Crusader Stadium Week 7. We're about 35 minutes away from kickoff here tonight. The Buhler Crusaders set to host the Rose Hill Rockets in a key matchup to decide standings in the 4A West playoff race with just 2 games now left tonight and home again tomorrow night, or Friday night next week for a senior night against Mcpherson. Buhler coming in at 3-3. After starting the year 0-3, now winning 3 in a row, Rose Hill in a similar spot. They've reeled off 3 straight wins to get to 500 on the season. Last week, Buhler goes to Augusta and beats the Orioles 28-14. Buhler drove the ball right down the field to start the game through an INT, but able to put 7 more points on the board of the first quarter and 21 in the second half to win 28-14. Mitchell McDaniel looked impressive in that first quarter. 14 carries, averaged 7.5 yards before he went out with an ankle injury. Still, turnovers an issue, an end zone INT we mentioned in the fumbled field goal that negated 2 scores for the Crusaders, but boy, Buhler's defense stood tall again, giving up just the 1 score. They've allowed just 2 scores now in the last 3 games in that 28-14 win. Aaron West here, our Midway Motors drive to the game. Carson Muller joins me. We'll be joined by Chris Shank coming up on the broadcast tonight. Moles, so I just can't say enough about the way this defense has been playing. Particularly the front 7 the last 3 weeks has just been fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, you see quarterbacks that are pretty mobile. You're expecting to see athletes. So when you get a front 7, and really you got about 9 guys that'll come in there, coming off the bench, filling in, letting some guys get breathers. But the attack that they've had has been constant, and it's been big for the momentum of the game. You see guys like Jace Henderson, who last week had his blocked punt, and Cash Carson and Alex Lee. Just everybody has had their time this year because of how hard they've worked up front, and they've set the tone for the defense as a staff and been able to create that momentum that the Crusaders have kind of been rolling with so far.
Yeah, look at that first 3 games. It gave up 104 points, just 21 the last 3 weeks. The pressure they've gotten on the quarterback, 8 sacks, 18 hurries in the past 2 games. And that's without bringing a lot of extra guys. That's just the work of Alex Lee and Jace Henderson and that group up front has really been good. Undersized for the most part. You look into that quick tackle position, 130, 120, but these guys have been able to get off the ball well and get to the quarterback.
Yeah, that's not your normal size for a D tackle. So it's been those front 7 guys, but you know they've had some guys helping them out. Those secondary had some questions coming into the season and struggled a little bit, but they've figured it out, and they've allowed put so much pressure on the wideouts getting open that their quarterback has nowhere to throw, and that gives those front 7 a little bit more time to get to the quarterback.
Tough they'll be without Mitchell McDaniel tonight. Our injury report brought to you by the Summit. Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation Sports Performance. Schedule your free consult at summitks.com. McDaniel running the ball last week looked pretty good, by the way, in that first quarter.
Yeah.
Goes down with the ankle injury, a high ankle sprain, and unfortunately, the only way for that to get better is just to stay off of it. Hopes to be back next week, if not next week, by the start of the playoffs. But he leads that secondary that was very green to start the year defensively. But they're starting to figure some things out.
Yeah, they are. Everybody is. On both sides of the ball, you know, offense looked really, really good last week. And so you want to be able to keep those pieces together, but unfortunately with injuries, you know, we have guys banged up. We saw Braden Gentry. He got injured. He was banged up all week this week, and Jace Henderson is still not suited out. So we want these guys to get healthy, and unfortunately, when you get injured at the end of the year, when games really matter coming into playoffs and seedings and how that turns out, it sucks to have them sit out, but it's best for your future as a team when you make a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah, Henderson will miss tonight. They're hopeful to have him back with a bit of a banged-up knee next week. Talked about McDaniel on the sideline in sweats. Braden Gentry's been playing through some things as well. And
guys are put in the best situation to get healthy and then to succeed out on the field.
Offensively, most rushing yards the season last week with 199. McDaniel ran the first half, and then Matt Eddy comes in and fills in hard runner in the second half. Some of that can be credited to the offensive line. Every week
one-on-one, goal-oriented therapy to help reduce your pain and get back to doing the things you love. Call Advanced Physical Therapy or visit our website at aptclinics.com and see how we can help you live at your physical best.
I'm Cindy Couchman. Our Ad Astra Virtual School serves pre-K through 12th grade and offers adult learning for those who need to complete their diploma. We offer dual enrollment opportunities at Buhler High School and Hutch Community College. Check us out at usd313.org today.
Rods Tire and Service.
At Adams Brown, our clients are the center of everything we do. Hi, this is Brett Henry. We're proud to have been named to the Inside Public Accountants Top 200 Firms for our 5th consecutive year. Adams Brown, Strategic Allies and CPAs, above and beyond.
Are you considering putting up a fence, building a garage, adding on to your home, or purchasing ground? For all your surveying needs, contact Alpha Land Surveys in Hutchinson at 620-728-0012 or go to alphalandsurveys.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And back on the Midway Motors drive to the game here from Crusader Stadium. This day in Crusader history will take you back to October the 14th of 2016 when Andale lost a football game. Don't be shocked by that, but Buhler beat Andale on that night, 28-21. Dalton Brown, 195 yards on a school record, 40 carries. That record stands today. And also scored twice. Buhler outgained Andale on the ground, 322 to 163. Indians were held to 2 of 11 on third down conversions. And Buhler finished that season 11-2. and finished runner-up to Miege in the state title game. It's not quite the last Andale loss, but not too far away from it.
It's up there. I mean, I remember that game vividly because that game was in Andale, if I remember correctly, and kind of a foggy, cold night, and there was lots of trouble holding on to the football, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's been a while ago, but big win for the Crusaders. Rose Hill tonight, 3-6 last year, lost to the opening round of the playoffs at Circle. Just one winning season now in their last 10. They started 0-3, outscored 23-122 by their first 3 opponents. But they have won 3 in a row since then, and during that stretch, they've upped their scoring to 67 points between those 3 games. Similar to Buhler, you look at things similar in record. I think this is an important game for both these teams. Both these teams coming into the season thought they'd be a little bit farther ahead than they are right now. And boy, you just look at the things that they like to do on the field. Control the clock, run the football, play tough defense. Has the makings to be a close game.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the scouting report for tonight's game, you know, the number one thing, Rose Hill wants to establish the run. What does that sound like? Buhler. And an amazing fact, the fact that both these teams started off 0-3 and both come in on a 3-game winning streak. So both these teams have had to scratch, fight, and claw to get back to the 500 mark. And one of them will leave tonight with a winning record. One of them will fall back below 500. So, I mean, they are 2 teams that are going to try to do similar things to each other. And it's really going to be interesting to see who can keep the momentum and keep the 4-game winning streak.
Turnovers. Boy, they have plagued Buhler. Would you ever think 20 turnovers in 6 games? Team that takes care of the ball tonight just might win.
Yeah, for sure. And the Buhler's been progressively getting better. You know, I talked to Jeff Neal, and he knows that he can't force a pass when they're inside the red zone like he did last Friday, and then just simple mistakes that are already corrected on the special teams side with that fumble return for a touchdown. So Crusaders are a team that is getting better tonight. They have an opportunity to create some when Rose Hill goes to the air a little bit, but we can't be too over-aggressive on that side and give up a big play.
Rose Hill 70-30 run to pass. They really want to pound the ball. And so talking about Jace Henderson not being in the middle of that defensive line tonight. They're going to be a little smaller. Linebackers might have to step up and help out some, but you still feel like, again, if you can limit that running game like they've done the last 3 weeks. That's certainly the key to success.
Yeah, I mean, the team that runs the ball better tonight and stops the run better tonight is probably going to be the team that walks out of here with the W.
And El Dorado after that, or Rose Hill after that 0-3 start to change quarterbacks. Just a sophomore back there in Colton Roberts, threw for 101 yards last week. Happy feet. If we can get him uncomfortable in the pocket, that changes a lot of things.
Yeah, and that's something that when you look at the game preview at the beginning of the week, you notice, hey, sophomore quarterback, they've switched him. He only has just 3 games under his belt. So you want to be able to pressure that as a defense, and especially when you step up and hit him and create pressure on him, that he's going to make mistakes, and Crusaders are going to have to make him pay for it.
Rose Hill, hard downhill runners, not a lot of flash, just straight ahead. And, of course, defensively, they feature that 3-4. A couple of active guys in Kaiser and Jones we'll talk about up front. Then they have a McLaughlin kind of experience in their secondary who was signed or at least offered to go to Emporia State next year. So key matchup tonight. I think as tight as things are in the 4A West, the playoff race, we may decide a lot tonight. We may not. I don't know yet, but certainly it's an important game.
Yeah, whoever wins tonight is positioning themselves in a very good spot to be home for the first round. And, you know, in the playoffs, the reason they switched the format a few years ago is to reward the better teams of getting more home games in the playoffs. So hopefully the Crusaders can move themselves closer to having that first round at home. It
is Pink Night here, by the way, at Crusader Stadium tonight. October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and supporting the Cancer Council of Reno County. The classy crew on the field in their pink shirts. And it's also middle school band night. The PHF's Prairie Hills Middle School, Marching Crusaders will perform here before the game as well. Buhler and Rose Hill coming up. We'll break down the Rockets further. Coach Coles joins us. We'll get armored up as we come back next Midway Motors drive to the game here on HKFM.
Midway Motors Drive to the Game continues after this. Stay tuned for tonight's kickoff conditions. And Aaron West sits down for a pregame chat with head coach Steve Warner. 95.9 HKFM. The Buhler Crusaders play here.
Hey fans, this is Rachel Nelson. It's game time and I Need a Cleaners can help you look like a winner. Spend your valuable time prepping for the game, not doing laundry. Keep your knit polos and khaki pants looking great. For the winning look, stop by I Need a Cleaners, 13th and Main in Hutchinson.
At Morton Salt in South Hutch, we're passionate about what we do and how we do it. That's because we're helping to improve people's lives in more ways and places than ever before. Hi, this is Evan Moody, General Manager. To learn more, go to mortonsalt.com.
Pyle Law is a Kansas personal injury law firm. We handle cases in Mcpherson County and throughout the state of Kansas. Now is the time to call for your free consultation. I'm Liz Pyle, and my husband Tom has over 25 years of personal experience in all matters relating to Kansas personal injury law. Tom will take the time to evaluate your options, inform you of your rights, and walk you through the complicated process of seeking compensation for your personal injuries or loss. Contact Pyle Law at 620-241-9000.
This is Bryant Anderson with Prairie Star Health Center. With more than 36 National Quality Awards and back-to-back National Quality Leader Awards, Prairie Star knows a thing or two about taking care of our patients. To learn more about Prairie Star's award-winning family medicine and each of our services, visit prairiestarhealth.org or schedule your appointment today by calling 620-663-8484. Because at Prairie Star, it's all about you.
Much like going to the doctor for a physical, we can perform a physical on your vehicle. Hi, this is Steve. Welcome to the full-service experience of Red Rock Auto Center. Allow us to do a complete physical on your vehicle to ensure its complete dependability. Whether preparing for holiday travel, batteries, or brakes, we are your locally owned, family-owned, full-service repair facility. Visit us today in South Hutchinson or go to redrockautocenter.com. Red Rock Auto Center. We're here when you need us.
Hey, back here on our Midway Motors drive to the game. Back home against Rose Hill tonight. Time to get armored up as we break down the Rockets with Coach Jason Coles. Coach, as we look at defense, you always kind of like to highlight the positives from last week. You go back really to the last three games. You've only given up 2 touchdowns defensively. In the Augusta game, minus that one big play they scored on, fantastic defense again.
Yeah, I think we played really solid. Like I said, we had that one big play, and we talk about improving every week and improving every snap, and that's really the attitude we've taken from the beginning of the year. We knew with the inexperience on the defensive side, we were going to take some bumps, and we would need to kind of weather that storm and grow as quickly as we could, and mature as quickly as we could. And the kids have really stepped up, and we're not the same defense we were on week 2, obviously. And the kids have kind of stepped up to that challenge and learned on the go. And, we've had some kids step up, with Jace moving positions. He's, become kind of a force in the middle. And, our quick twos, were guys that weren't on the radar 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, and they're wreaking havoc and, really causing chaos in the backfield. And, and then the kids who have had a little bit more experience have grown into some leaders on the defensive side. So, we're getting better, and we're doing what we need to do, and just want to keep getting better every snap.
Mm-hmm. Get Rose Hill, another running team or a team that wants to establish the run tonight, and talk about just hard downhill running. They like to really do that a lot with their backs.
Yeah, they have 2 good tailbacks, and like you said, they're pretty much downhill, wanting to pick up yards on first and second down in the run game, keep moving the sticks. They've got basically 3 tight ends that they rotate, with the tight end position plus the H-back spot and the fullback spot, and, use that power running game a little bit like Winfield. They're going to line up and come right at us. And I'm sure, looking at the roster and looking at our lineup up front on paper, they're looking at it and saying, okay, this is something we should be able to do. We should be able to attack. And, my thought is that's what Winfield looked at. That's what Mulvane looked at. And, that's what we've seen. Augusta for sure, looked at. And, that kids can keep doing what they're doing and then surprising people. We can get them in second and long, and that takes them out of what they want to do.
Yeah, another young quarterback you're going to go against tonight. And, your guys up front, without having to bring a lot of extra pressure, seems like the last few weeks have had success at penetrating and getting to the quarterback.
Yeah, we talked about that on Friday a little bit, during the game of the pressure we were getting with our front four, and that allows those linebackers to come up underneath. It allows us to run some different things. Matthew got an interception at the end of the game. We were running what we call spy. And by not needing to send a linebacker, it allows us to do some things with the secondary and do some things with the linebackers that help take away some other things in the passing game.
Well, ought to be an interesting matchup. You've won 3 in a row. They've won 3 in a row. So something has to give tonight. Hopefully go out and get another W. Good job, Coach. Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to see the kids get after it again.
Absolutely. Coach Jason Cole's with us. Back with more of our pregame right after this.
Neufield's Flooring, proud supporter of Buhler High School activities. We are your experts for all your floor covering needs. Please make an appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler, or give us a call at 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders!
At Dick's Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips.
Steel Products, the experts in steel fabrication.
Allen Samuels and Hutch is proud to support our community and local businesses, and we promise to continue to do so. Follow us on Facebook and join in our weekly giveaways. Check out our website at AllenSamuelsHutch.com for our new inventory arriving daily. And remember, Ladies' Day is every Tuesday for discounted oil changes, tire rotation, and a free car wash. Allen Samuels on the giant corner of 30th and Lorraine in Hutch. We always have a warm cup of coffee waiting, and that's why Mr. Samuels always says,
"Come by, let's be friends."
The right price for protection is easier to find than you might think. Contact me, Andrew Parr, your Allstate agent in Hutchinson, for a free quote. Protection shouldn't be pricey. Call me today or stop by the office at 13th and Main in Midtown Hutchinson. Are you in good hands?
You already know H&R Block does taxes, but you may not know you can get expert help in person or virtually, or that our tax pros average 10 years of experience. You can even request the same tax pro every year, and your biggest possible refund is always guaranteed. At H&R Block, help is here. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantees.
Stop by H&R Block in Lyons, Ellsworth, or Hutch today.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
Crusader football on HKFM.
Is the Prairie Hills Middle School Marching Crusaders with our national anthem before the start of the game tonight. Going to be just a fantastic night for football and a great home crowd here for week number 7. Senior night next Friday against Mcpherson, and I know everybody will be anticipating that matchup. Busy night on our Ad Astra Sports Network tonight. Games will be following include southeast of Saline at Lyons, Smoky Valley at Hillsboro. Mulvany's the district title tonight. And six-man football, Burton is at Cunningham. Wildcats ranked number 1 in six-man. And that's a look at what's happening on our network. Find live streaming of tonight's games on your phone with the Ad Astra radio app, powered by Nextech Wireless. Shop the latest phones and devices at the best prices. Well, certainly flipped the script from where we were earlier in the season with the cramping and the hot weather as we get tonight's kickoff conditions, brought to you by Neufeld's Flooring. And featuring one-of-a-kind flooring and accessories to pull your project together. Neufeld's Flooring, a few miles out of the city, light years out of the ordinary. I think fans should enjoy the weather tonight, Moles. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's 76 down here. Should drop into the game time is about 66, so not too bad. Very beautiful night. These guys have been used to this. It hopefully won't rain tonight like it did last week, but a beautiful night to come out and compete. Sun's already down. Beautiful sunset. We are ready to go down here.
For a rankings, Miege lost last week to St. Thomas Aquinas, but stays number 1. They take on Blue Valley West tonight. St. James Akigo at 6-0. I'm interested tonight, Wamego, Clearwater, kind of a middle-of-the-road 4A team as well at 3-3. But interesting to see how the Raiders stack up against a team out of the
and Wellington was a team, that just took, Mcpherson to the wire. That's another division or a team that has been that division historically. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see how much Wamego, if their league has been weak, or if they really are, deserving of that perfect record.
3 undefeated teams left in the 4A, 2 in the East in Chanute and Atchison. And then just one in the West in Wamego. Seems like half the West is 3-3 right now.
Yeah, there is a whole bottleneck of teams right around Buhler's record right now. So I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for teams to either move up or move down based on how tonight and next week go.
All right, we'll preview other action around the league. Get to Chris's keys to the game coming up just ahead of the kickoff, about 10 minutes. Next on our Midway Motors Drive to the Game, our pregame shot with head coach Steve Warner here on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Hi, this is Serena from Midway Motors. To help fight breast cancer, Midway will be donating $50 for every vehicle sold during the month of October in hopes of raising $15,000. Visit midwaymotors.com to learn more.
Insurance Restoration Project, Erickson Custom Building provides quality craftsmanship and superior customer service.
60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Hi, this is Jen Stallman with the Buhler Booster Club. Booster Club supports all student activities and athletics. Please consider our generous donors.
Hi, this is James with Idea Tech. We love bringing internet freedom to the residents and businesses of Buhler. Idea Tech is a proud supporter and preferred internet provider of the Buhler Crusaders. As the Crusaders know, speed wins. We back up our lightning-fast internet with a customer-first philosophy. That means you will talk to a live person to inquire more about our services.
And back here on our Midway Motors Drive to the Game, the Rose Hill Rockets here in Week 7. Time to get pregame thoughts from head coach Steve Warner. Coach, we've talked quite a bit on our coaches show about just the tough start to the season, 0-3, but this group has really rallied.
So that we stuck together as a team when we were 0-3. Obviously not fun. It's not as much fun to come to practice when you're losing, but the kids never lost sight of just wanting to improve every practice. And I think obviously now that we won 3 in a row, we've maybe played some less, weaker opponents, but also improved. And you can see the improvement by our defense. Offense getting better last week, less turnovers last week. So those are important things that I feel like will help us win football games.
You say maybe lesser opponents in some ways, but physical opponents, and most often going against guys that are older, more experienced, and bigger than your guys.
I agree 100%, and that's why we could be where they are right now with their records, but we won those games and took care of business, and again, with older, bigger, more physical kids, and we found a way to get it done.
Absolutely playing very well. You win the turnover battle last week. Seems like with these close games, the way things are in the West this year, that's just as important, maybe more important than it's ever been.
Well, that's true, because we want to get the highest seed that we can possibly get. We love to host at home, and big game tonight to be able to, to have that happen. To be 4-4 or 5-3. You're going to probably host a game at home, and that's what we're shooting for.
Rose Hill, similar to us in that they started 0-3. They've won 3 in a row and done it by playing tough defense and running the football. I don't know if that sounds familiar or not, but
that's definitely exactly us. So we're going to take that run away, get pressure on the quarterback when he wants to throw, and don't turn the ball over for our offense. We need to have long, sustained drives.
Haunted you early in the year. The last 3 weeks, you've really limited them. Last week, Augusta gave up just the one big play, which was most of their offense.
That was most of their offense, and that's one big play in 3 weeks. So that's, reduced down a ton from the beginning of the year. So that's what we got to continue to do. They do have some athletes that they'd like to throw to, but I feel like our scheme is really good. We've got kids moving around to be able to line up against their best kids. And that's what obviously we have to do to put us in the right situation.
You mentioned your offensive line best game of the year last week. Kudos to that group for getting it done better.
Without a doubt. And they're smaller, but they keep working hard. And, we got 2 kids at 175 pounds on the line and maybe 180.
That is head coach Steve Warner. We're back with more right after this.
Just ahead on the for every mile of life. The Buhler Crusaders play on 95.9 HKFM.
665-0400, and let's talk about your insurance needs today.
American Family Insurance.
Have an appliance that doesn't work or a yard full of scrap metal and don't know what to do with it? Hi, this is Kathy from Midwest Iron, and you can save the environment and put a little money in your pocket by bringing it to us at 700 South Main. Call us at 620-662-0551. Midwest Iron, recycling for tomorrow's environment.
If you're looking for a late starting college class, Hutchinson Community College may have what you need. It's not too late to get enrolled. We have classes starting throughout the semester. Call 620-665-3535 or email myfuture@hutchcc.edu today.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, back here on the Midway Motors Drive to the Game, Crusader football on HKFM this season, brought to you in part by Sunflower Electric Supply, by Wave Band Insurance, by Dix Phillips 66, by Buhler Dental Care, and by Schmidt Electric. Buhler in their home black uniforms tonight with the matte black helmets and the maroon numerals. It'll be all white road uniforms trimmed in red with red helmets for the Rose Hill Rockets. And just like tonight's teams, I Need a Cleaners can help you look like a winner. Expert dry cleaning and professional shirt service. I Need a Cleaners in Hutchinson and Newton. It's where to take your clothes. Well, co-captains meeting at midfield before the start of tonight's game. Let's go down to the field for the opening coin toss.
Hey guys, I'm Jason Ruckel. I'll be your white hat tonight. Bob Householder will be your umpire behind the defense. Okay, you guys got any questions for us? You guys know the rules. Okay, keep your mouth shut. Talk amongst yourselves. No talking back and forth. Okay, keep things moving smooth. We got a problem. We'll come to you guys first. Rose Hill, your visitors. What do you want to call, heads or tails? Heads. What do you call? He called heads. That is tails. This is heads. I'm gonna let it hit the ground. Okay. It is tails. Buhler, you won the toss. You want to defer to second round. Rose Hill, you want the ball? What direction you guys want to kick? You want to defend this way? Okay, spin around. Rose Hill over there. Buhler on this side.
All right, Buhler has won the coin toss, and they will defer until the second half for tonight's game and get set to defend the north end zone here at Crusader Stadium. Christopher, let's talk about some keys to the game.
All right, 3 big keys tonight. Number 3, establishing the run, stopping the run. The team that establishes the run and stops the other team run game is probably going to be victorious. Number 2, winning the turnover battle. Last week, Buhler tied Augusta 2-2. Right now, Buhler's -11 on turnovers, so hopefully Buhler can continue chipping away at that and improving that ratio. And then I really do feel like the first 1 to 21 is going to win tonight. You know, both of these teams, their strength is their defense. Rose Hill in their last 3 games is averaging 22.3 a game. Buhler's averaging 20 points a game. And I truly think first to 21 is going to win tonight.
All right, looking forward to it. Buhler's 4-3 defense, giving up 20.8 points a game. They've held their last 3 opponents to just 2 touchdowns. Turnovers have been up as well now with 5 INTs and 4 fumble recoveries on the year. Alex Lee, Chase Gentry, Cash Carson, Brian Regier among the guys you'll see in that front line. Alex Lee playing fantastic as of late. The middle, Will Hanen, Braden Gentry, Matt Eddy, the linebackers. The secondary, Luca Gotti, Jeremy Gentry, Tavian Gilliam. They'll be without Mitchell McDaniel tonight against the 3-3 Rose Hill Rockets, coached by Lee Weber in his 5th season. Colton Roberts took over in week 4 at quarterback, threw for 101 yards in the loss, or rather the win at El Dorado last week. He'll have Pierce Probasco and Bowden Witten, 2 hard-running tailbacks in the backfield, and they'll throw to a number of receivers. Ben Peck and Luke McLaughlin are the leaders in that category. They like to get their tight ends involved in different ways as well. Jeff Neal set to kick off from the 40 here toward the south end zone on a perfect night for high school football. And we're set to go here from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on KWHK Hutchinson. A line drive kick taken at the 25 near side and then hit near the 32-yard line with a return for Rose Hill, Ben Peck. And we'll get things underway here from Buhler. Rockets near sideline at about the 32.
Great special teams tackle that time by the sophomore Brady Gotti, as well as Jeremy Gentry, as they swarmed the return man Peck.
Return man made it all the way up to the 34. That's where the Rockets will start. Won last week 31-18. At home against Rose Hill, they start with two backs offset to the right side, quarterback out of the gun, single receivers either side, and they will hand it off in the backfield and try to run right to left. Nowhere to go is Probasco on the far side. There is a flag down on the play. No gain at the far side hash mark of the 34-yard line.
And they're going to get the Crusaders. It was either Ruda or Cash Carson. They're going to hit him with the horse collar tackle. Tough break for the Crusaders.
Buhler penalty-wise comes in averaging about 4.5 penalties a game, 41 yards. Their opponents much more than that, up closer to 10 penalties a game, but the first one tonight will go against the Crusaders. It is that horse collar call on the tackle, and it moves the ball all the way up to the 50-yard line.
Tough break for the Crusaders on the first offensive play of the night, but hopefully the defense can bounce back.
So it ends up as a gain of 16 with a penalty for the Rockets in the I set here on 1st and 10. Single receivers either side. And they'll flip to the tailback and a run on the near side. Tripped up just past the 50 at the 48-yard line of Buhler. Probasco on 2 runs so far. Not a lot of room out there this time on the right side. Gain of 2.
Yeah, Braden Gentry, the Mike linebacker, just scooped him up and tossed him to the turf. Great play that time by Gentry, playing downhill from the linebacking core.
Talked about Jace Henderson not being in there in the middle of that defense. That puts sophomore Cash Carson, 5'6", 120 in a starting role tonight. A small kid with a ton of heart. 2nd down and 8 here, clock running, first quarter, no score. Quarterback out of the gun. 3-back offset in the backfield, and Probasco pounding his way forward, gets across the 45 and up to the 42-yard line. Shy of the first down, sets up a 3rd down and 2. Key early 3rd down in this game.
Yeah, Buhler's doing a good job. Rose Hill's getting some good push right off the bat, but the second line of the Crusaders, that second level linebacker, is coming up and doing a great job filling here so far.
Well, that's where most of their experience is, with Gentry and Eddie there in the middle defensively. 2nd down and a long 2 as they put the quarterback out of the gun. 2 receivers to the left side. They'll give it to Probasco running left, and he's not going to get there. Stopped short. Got a yard, and that was it at the 41. And a big decision here for Coach Lee Weber on a 4th down and 1.
And I will be surprised if they punt, but they are counting on this being a low-scoring game, so they're going to bring the punt unit on.
Great job of the Black Knight defense over there on the left side, not giving a ton of room for Probasco on that first series. And looks like Rose Hill will set the punting unit on the field on 4th and 1.
And I'd be a little hesitant if I was Buhler, because it's a perfect place for them to fake it.
Well, they've got nobody back to return here, so anticipating a potential fake punt. It is not a fake punt. Boy, it takes a Rose Hill roll and then rolls out of bounds near the 5-yard line. It landed right at the feet of a Rocket near the 20, and then took off like a rocket toward the end zone, goes out of bounds inside the 5.
Yeah, that was a great coffin corner kick, if you will, for Rose Hill, and they are trying to play the field position game as Buhler's going to be bottled up with 95 yards to go here for Pater.
Buhler from their own 5 first series offensively, 9:42 to go in the first, no score. Junior quarterback Jeffrey Nails thrown for 816 yards, 5 TDs, 10 INTs on the season. And he'll hand it off on 1st down out of the I formation across the 5 to the 7-yard line. Matthew Eddy got action in the second half last week at tailback, starting there tonight. Comes into the game 27 carries, 122 yards. Braden Gentry in the backfield as well. Receivers include tight end Will Hanen and Austin Rogers. Up front for the Crusaders, Ryland Parks, Brian Regier, Ty Goins, Keaton Parsons, and Blake Hageman. 2nd down and 9 with the clock running. They go with a wing back to the right side, hand off to the tailback up the middle. And near the 9-yard line, Matt Eddy's going to be brought down. Short of the first down by about 6 yards.
Well, it puts a lot of pressure on an offense when you have to start your drive backed up against your own end zone. So Buhler's got a little bit of breathing room here with a 3rd and 6, maybe 7. It'll be interesting to see if the Crusaders put it upstairs here.
Throw in the slot to the near side, incomplete. And this is where the engineer.
Yeah, that time they had Luca Gotti lined up in the slot, and he was set up just beyond the line to gain, and the pass is a little low, incomplete. So Buhler's first offensive possession will be a 3 and out.
Jeff Neal will kick near the goal line, gets a leg into it. Rose Hill's going to have good field position. Fielded at the 45 of Buhler and returned up to the 36-yard line. So each team with a series offensively, each team with a punt. Rockets have it back, 8:21 to play here in the first. And no score. Rose Hill from the Buhler 35. Rockets got, since changing quarterbacks halfway through the season. Here's first throw tonight for Roberts to the near sideline. Here the 30, and close to a first down. The pass complete to senior Luke McLaughlin. And looks like he went out of bounds, maybe just shy, about a yard shy, gain of 9. Call it second down and 1 at the 26.
Well, that opens up a lot of things in the playbook here with a 2nd and 1. This might be a chance for Rose Hill to take a shot downfield.
Second down and 1, single receivers either side. One back to the right of Roberts in the backfield. They'll hand it off. This is Bowden Whitted, the other tailback, a senior. And he runs forward for a first down up to the 21-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. That'll move the chains for the Rose Hill Rockets. First down for either team tonight. So Black Knights have got to come up with some magic here. Rose Hill does have a pretty good kicker, by the way, in Tegan Cobb. And so field goal might be a possibility if Buhler can come up with a stop.
Yeah, and wind is not going to be much of a factor tonight. I know it was windy earlier today, but it's pretty still now.
Colton Roberts, the sophomore, out of the gun. Receiver in motion. The jet sweep. They'll fake it to the receiver. They hand it off in the backfield, and Bowden Whitten has nowhere to go. On the left side, he's going to be drugged back to the 24-yard line. Loses 3 on the play. Braden Gentry leading the charge for the Crusaders.
Yep, a nice help there from the secondary Bryce Ruda in on the stop as well for Buhler. So that's a big play for Buhler because now Rose Hill's behind schedule on down and distance.
Second down and 13, clock running, 7:21 to go in the first, no score. And Roberts will be out of the shotgun on 2nd and long. They go with receiver in motion and 2 tight ends here. They'll hand it off to the receiver that was split out to the far side. That is McLaughlin, who gets the penalty yard or the lost yardage and then some back, and he's got a first down. Inside the 10 to the 8-yard line will be first and goal. McLaughlin, who was split out left, comes all the way across the field. Takes that handoff and gets the first down.
Yeah, he had a head of steam on that jet sweep and had enough momentum to get to the edge and then some. And Rose Hill with the first goal situation for either one of these squads.
First and goal, Rockets inside the 10-yard line at the 8. And Colton Roberts out of the shotgun, Whitted to his right. McLaughlin lined up right, inside handoff, and nothing there.
Great fill that time. Will Haynen, one of the outside linebackers, came up with the big stick, stops him at the line of scrimmage.
Gain of just 1 on that first and goal play to Bowden Whitten. So second down, Black Knights. They've come up with some big stops in the red zone this year. Interesting stat to talk about big plays all the time. Opponents have scored 16 touchdowns against Buhler this year. Only 2 of those have come in the red zone.
Wow, that's a pretty impressive statistic.
Second down and 8. Second and goal at the 8. They go with 3 backs behind the quarterback under center. Whitted trying to sneak his way through, and he is brought down shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. And so Buhler can come up with one more stop. They might be able to force a field goal attempt here.
No doubt Alex Lee with the big stick that time, one of the senior leaders for Buhler up front. And so now a critical third down. Let's see if the Crusader Black Knight defense can keep him out.
Third and goal from the 6-yard line. Rose Hill has had very little success running the football here in their first 2 series. Just the 1 pass attempt, though, for quarterback Colton Roberts. He is 1 for 1.
Yeah, he was a very efficient last week. He talked about 7 of 11 for 101 yards, no INTs.
They break out of the huddle with 10 seconds on the play clock. 3 backs will surround Roberts out of the gun in the backfield. On the 3rd and goal, Roberts to throw, looking for the back of the end zone to McLaughlin. Well covered and knocked away, incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Great job that time. Tavian Gilliam in on the stop, as well as Luca Gotti. And they went with the max protect set that time, just had 2 receivers, 1 either side, and all sorts of backs in the backfield. So great job by Buhler defending the end zone there.
Well, you got to feel good considering if you can force them to a punting situation or a field goal situation here. And Tegan Cobb, the hold is at the 12, and he will kick it through a 22-yard field goal. Rose Hill up early, 3-0 over the Crusaders. 5:44 to go in the first. Crusader football on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
5G devices at Next Tech Wireless. Now you can get the iPhone 14 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S22 Plus on us, or up to $999 off any other device. And that's not all. You can also get half off a new Apple Watch when you bring your number to us. Next Tech Wireless. We are Kansas.
Even trying to enjoy a fun event can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort and empathy during time of loss. Rely on me to guide you through all aspects of planning a funeral service with compassion, dignity, and respect. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Tegan Cobb to kick off from the 40. Gets a good leg into it, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone to the far corner. And Buhler will bring the ball out to the 20 for their second series. Well, all things considered, just to give up the field goal there, 7 plays and a 22-yard field goal for the Rockets. Tough sledding running the football so far in this first quarter.
Yeah, there hasn't really been any ability for Buhler to break out, but Buhler really hasn't attacked the edge at all. Everything's been in between the tackles. We'll see if Buhler starts mixing things up offensively.
From their own 25-44 to play in the first. Out of the I formation, here is Matt Eddy on a right side run. He'll get across the 25, and mark him down right at the 25, gain of 5. We say this all the time, but if you can average 4 to 5 yards running on a play, you can make a living out of that all night.
You can, and that just hopefully helps take a little pressure off the Crusaders. You know, that first series when you're starting at the 5, first couple plays got stymied, you know, you really start kind of getting conservative, so getting a good 5-yard pickup on first down's big.
Second down and 5 with Jeff out of the gun. Eddy to his left, 2 receivers left. Quarterback draw up the middle across the 30, and it's a first down. One of the bigger runs this year for Jeff Neal. And actually it was a direct snap to the tailback in the Wildcat. Matt Eddy, my apologies, and runs it up for a first down right up the middle.
Yeah, and that was a called Wildcat play. They had 2 receivers split out here to the left-hand side. Eddy took the shotgun snap and just barreled his way forward for the first down.
11 yards on that play, 4 to the 36. It'll be 1st and 10. First down of the game for the Crusaders. Back out of the eye. And play action rolling to his left. They throw near side to the 40, breaking out of a tackle. Nice job of the fullback, Brayton Gentry. Looked like he was going to be stopped shy of the 40, but breaks a tackle and gets 3 more yards. Christopher up to the 42.
Well, you know, one of the big question marks with Matt Eddy being out, who else can catch the rock? And Gentry's been one of those guys coming out of the backfield at the fullback spot. Done a good job receiving this year for the Crusaders.
His 9th catch of the year, came in with 8 catches, 95 yards. Second down and 5, snap is high. Jeff pulls it down, hands it off to his tailback, inside run. And really nothing there will give Matt Eddy a yard forward to the 43, and that's it. And all of a sudden a critical third down here, 3rd down and 4. 4 minutes to go in the quarter.
Yep, and this really is a critical situation for Buhler, because with Rose Hill getting that early score, Buhler doesn't want to make this a 2-score game. Buhler might be in 4-down territory if they have any pickup here.
Quarterback out of the gun with a wing to the right. Play action for Jeff Neal, rolling right. He's going to let it go downfield, looking for Luca Gotti, who catches the ball and is going to go the distance to the house. Penalty markers out on the play. We assume that's going to be defensive pass interference as Gotti got shoved on the play. Still able to hold on to the ball, though, and get it to the end zone.
And just from... So the penalty is called on Rose Hill, and the Crusaders will wisely decline it, and Luca Gotti will have a receiving touchdown. Good to see him getting involved offensively, and great to see the Crusaders take their first lead of the night.
Picked a fine time to get his first catch of the year.
No doubt. He had a touchdown last week on the onside kick that he recovered at midfield and just took to the house. So back-to-back weeks for Luca Gotti, taking it to the house for 6.
43. Make that 57 yards on the touchdown pass. Jeff Neal on for the PAT from the 10. 3:35 to go. The first kick is up and good, and Buhler on their second drive claims their first lead, now leading 7-3. 3:35 to go. The first. Crusader football on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Buhler head football coach Steve Warner. If you'd like to stay connected with what's going on within our program, I'd like to invite you to sign up for the Buhler Football Weekly Roundtable. It's a newsletter, RadersRT@gmail.com.
Rod here from Rod's Tire and Service of Hillsboro. As a small business owner myself, I understand what it is like to manage costs. That's why at Rod's we take a lot of pride in taking the time to give our customers options on all of our in-stock tires. For tires for your farm, family, and fleet, come see us today at Rod's Tire in Hillsboro.
We're here to keep you rolling.
56-yard touchdown, 57-yard touchdown catch. Great job by Luca Gotti there, getting shoved, keeps his composure, holds onto the football, and takes it to the house.
Yeah, he had faith in his quarterback to get him the ball, and great job finding it, turning around, and even if he didn't catch that, we would have got the 15-yard penalty and another first down. So very smart by the senior, and great to see him get some points on the board.
5 plays, 80 yards, and the score 7-3. And now this kick will go out of the end zone for Jeff Neal. And Rose Hill will start at their own 20, down by a score of 7-3.
No doubts. And so, yeah, Buhler, I guess, will accept the penalty unless there was something extracurricular after the touchdown. So, no, they accepted the yardage on the pass interference on the kickoff. So, Buhler gets a touchback. And now the field position game finally benefiting Buhler here for the first time tonight.
Rockets will start from their own 20, 1st and 10. Down a score out of the I formation. And their tailback through. And a touchdown potentially saving tackle there at the 30.
Luca Gotti saving the Crusaders' bacon there.
That was Probasco on the carry, and Gotti reached out and grabbed him at the 30 after a gain of 10. That'll be a first down yardage, though. 1st and 10 from the 30.
And one thing with Buhler really selling out to try to stop the run, unfortunately, sometimes big plays can happen because just your defense is a little bit thinner when you're dealing with the run team and you're walking the linebackers up.
1st and 10 at the 30, 3:05 to go in the first 7-3. Here is Roberts out of the gun. 2 backs with him in the backfield. It's Probasco, and that is why somehow he escapes what would have been a loss on the play and squirts free for a couple on the far side. Just about lost a couple in the backfield, able to get forward up though to the 34-yard line, gain of 4.
Yeah, Brian Regier, the defensive end on the far side, had a great job setting the edge for contain. And Probasco, though, great cutback, and he was able to make something out of nothing there for Rose Hill.
2nd and 6. Single receivers. Roberts out of the gun. Now they put Roberts under center. They go to the I formation. It's going to be Probasco on a left side run. Gets across the 35. Ball comes loose at the end of the play. Stopped near the 39-yard line. I think Rose Hill holds on. And they're looking at a 3rd down. Let's see where they spot the ball. They're going to spot it back at the 38. So that's a great spot for the Crusaders. 3rd down and 2.
Thank you, Mr. Official.
Almost 3rd down and 3.
That was a fantastic spot because it looked like the ball, the Probasco had gotten clear up to the 39-yard line, but They spot him clear back at the 38. We'll take it.
They've got to get to the 41 for a first down. So 3rd and 3 out of the I formation. Down to a minute 42 left in the first. And a run out of the I. It's going to be very close. The near side official had him spotted short. On the far side, though, I think they've got him enough for the first down.
Yeah, the far side, the Rose Hill side official had it spotted up around the 41, so they'll move the sticks. And something that happens nowadays, they don't put themselves in many situations to measure. If you think about it, how many times have we had a measurement this entire season?
I don't know that we have it all.
I don't think we have. They really do try to avoid either making it definitively one way or the other.
All right, 1st and 10. Rockets couple of first downs in this series. Roberts out of the gun to pass. Slings it over the middle and is in and out of the hands of the receiver who got popped and is down. That is Ben Peck, who I think he turned around before he had a good grip on the ball, and it popped up in the air. Fortunately for him, it lands incomplete, but he is a little slow getting up and heading off the field.
Yeah, Jeremy Gentry delivered a big blow out there on Peck. And one of the things I'm really seeing from Rose Hill, they are not sending a lot of receivers downfield. That time only a 3-receiver route. A lot of times when they've been throwing the football, they've only been sending 2 receivers out, which means they don't have a lot of faith in their pass protection.
2nd down and 10 clock stopped. A minute 9 to go in the first with the incompletion. Roberts now 1 of 3 on the night. Works out of the gun again. 2 receivers far side, single to the right. And Roberts will snap it, hand it off to his tailback. Little room up the middle, gets across the 45 to the 46. And that's going to set up 3rd down and 4 for the Rockets here.
Yeah, good job defensively that time. Matt Eddy helping to make the stop. He's one of those guys playing both ways, playing his guts out, trying to help the Crusaders pick up win number 4.
You got to figure if they can hold here that Rose Hill will punt on 4th down, being just near midfield. 3rd down, long 4, maybe 5 here for Rose Hill with Roberts out of the gun. Single receivers either side. And a single back to go with 2 tight ends. It's caught by McLaughlin, and he is going to be wrapped up short of the first down, short of the 50. At the 49-yard line, it's going to be 4th down.
And again, one of those 2 receiver sets for Rose Hill. They just sent 2 guys out. That's easier to cover. Great job by Tavian Gilliam and company getting the stop for Buhler. And Rose Hill, even though they're about less than a yard away from first down, are going to line up for punt.
Buhler will send Matt Eddy back to return near the 18 here as Tegan Cobb comes on for his 2nd punt attempt of the night. Each team with a score in the first quarter. Rose Hill a 22-yard field goal by Cobb. And the first quarter clock will run down to 0 here before they get the punt off. 7-3 after 1 here tonight from Crusader Stadium. Crusader football on HKFM, the Crusader Sports Network.
If you have a poster with the name of a loved one
Expensive to install. This is Derek Fees. Let APAC Kansas Shears Division help you properly maintain these investments. Patching, crack filling, sealing, and striping are just some of the services we provide. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
As your community bank, Prairie Bank of Kansas is always looking for ways to make banking more convenient, like e-statements. Eliminate the need to file your monthly statements. Now you can be notified the moment your statement is available and easily access it online. Sign up for e-statements online at prairiebankks.com or visit one of our locations in Stafford, Buhler, Inman, or Hutchinson. Prairie Bank of Kansas. How banking should be.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, great job of the Crusaders here, Moles. We talked about how undersized they are up front, but still getting it done. Stuffing the run, forcing another punt.
Yeah, very fundamentally sound. The linebackers are coming up. One of them's forcing them back inside, and the other one's flying up that gap. Great job by the Black Knights.
Now it looks like Rose Hill's set to go for it on 4th and 1. And stuffed in the backfield. Yes! Turnover on downs. Rose Hill in that timeout between quarters. Coach Lee Weber changes his mind, goes for it on 4th down, and Buhler ready for the run, stops him for a loss.
And Buhler did such a great job pouring through the line. There's about 3 D linemen hitting the running back just as soon as Probaska got the handoff. So great job by the Crusaders getting the stop there, and great field position now on the turnover on downs.
They'll have it at their Rose Hill 48-yard line. 11:53 now to go in the half. And a handoff here is Matt Eddy. Nice run on first down, left side, across the 45, across the 40. And all the way up to the 37-yard line. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Gavin Patton, just waiting for that big run for him to break one.
Well, with Matt Eddy so far tonight, it looks like he's getting better as the game's going on, and that's great to see out of your tailback.
Gain of 11, enough for the first down. Jeff out of the gun. They go with two tight ends and a wingback here on first down. Matt Eddy will get the handoff on the right side. And all the way up to the 31-yard line, a gain of 6, going with it max protection, getting some extra blockers up front. Running game working here in this third series of the night for the Crusaders.
Yeah, Buhler did a great job of just caving in the entire right-hand side of the Rose Hill D line. Big chasm in there for Matt Eddy to run inside. Big pickup on first down.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4 at the 31. Buhler going left to right here in the second quarter. Jeff out of the gun again. Again, two tight ends and a wing. Again, Matt Eddy, this time he runs to the weak side, has a first down, gets taken down, a high tackle inside the 20 at the 19, and another big first down run for Matt Eddy.
Yeah, it was Luke McLaughlin that came in high, and Eddy's such a strong kid. McLaughlin went high, and Eddy was able to just power through the tackle and fight for about 4 or 5 more extra yards.
Gain of 12 yards on the play, down to the 19. And the Crusaders have another first down here. 1st and 10. Far side hash mark of the 19. Buhler driving toward the north end zone. Back to the I formation. They stay with two tight ends. And Eddy running right across the 15, breaks out of a tackle inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal.
Yeah, Buhler that time went with the classic cross-buck look. They faked to the fullback, going to the left, had Eddy going to the right. There was a big hole, and anytime you're picking up 10 or 12 yards on first down, that is fantastic news.
Boy, good running on this drive for Matt Eddy and company. 1st and goal at the 8. Buhler looking for their second score of the night. Out of the I formation, fumbled snap. Jeff picks it up and able to avoid a bit of a disaster. Actually gets 2 yards out of it, Christopher. A fumbled snap, heads up play by the quarterback to still find a way to eke out a couple of yards.
Well, an old rule of thumb in football, if you have trouble on the snap, don't dink around trying to get a handoff up. Just try to plow forward and get what you can get, and they were able to do so. So nice job that time by the Crusaders, and they got a 2nd and goal opportunity here.
2nd and goal from the 6 out of the I formation. Two tight ends again, and Jeff Neal rolling out to his right, tackled as he throws high in the end zone through the hands of the receiver, and it is picked off.
Yeah, it was tipped into the air by the intended target, and it's picked off in the end zone by Bowden Whitted. And kind of one of the things, anytime you're in pressure, got to be careful when you throw it away. If you're going to throw it away, you got to just sky it out of the back of the end zone. And unfortunately, that one was low enough that it was tipped and picked off, and Buhler has their first turnover of the game.
Believe that he was looking for the tight end, Will Hanen, there. And the INT first turnover of the night charged to the Crusaders. And Rose Hill will have it now at their own 20-yard line here with 9:21 to go in the second. Jeff hit as he threw that time pass high off the hands of the tight end and picked off by the Rockets. Near side run. This is Whitted, gets free to the 35, to the 40, and out of bounds.
Around left end, Bowden Whitted. He's out of bounds earlier than midfield.
At the 36-yard line, a gain of 16 for Bowden Whitten, first down.
Well, luckily he stepped out of bounds at the 36 because he wasn't forced out of bounds by Ruda until he crossed midfield. So the Crusaders catch a little bit of a break there with him stepping out of bounds.
Boy, tough blow to get all the way down to the goal line and not be able to score.
Yeah, and when that drive just felt good, everything was clicking, that's a tough way to have your drive come to a conclusion.
1st and 10 at the 36. Rockets down 7-3 here. Here's a right side run. That goes nowhere.
Yeah, Big B, Brian Regier, the defensive end, just slings him down to the turf for no gain.
Rose Hill here alternating 2nd and 9.
Well, they want to reward Whitted after he had that pick in the end zone, I guess, letting him run tailback. But he's a kid that had been playing some quarterback this year, so he's played all over the backfield this season for Rose Hill.
Colton Roberts out of the gun. Whitted to his right, 2 receivers right on 2nd and 9. They want to throw out in the flat. Pass is caught, but nowhere to go. Ben Peck gets hit immediately for no gain on the play. It's going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, they tried the swing pass on the far side, but great coverage over the top, or excuse me, the corner on the far side. Tavian Gilliam coming up
here in their own territory. Get the ball back. They drove the ball so well on that last series before the INT in the end zone. 2nd straight week they've had a pass picked off trying to score on against this Black Knight defense.
And that was none other than Cash Carson, the sophomore. Not afraid. He comes up and hits Whitted low. Perfect submarine tackle. Drops him for a little to no gain. And Rose Hill, you think about it, we almost scored. We have the pick in the end zone, and they break a big run. And for the Black Knight defense to bow their necks and get the stop here, that's huge.
Right, Tegan Cobb set to punt from his own 25. Just gets it off. Nice high punt. Fair caught by Matt Eddy at the 29. Coach Coles defensively has made a career out of stopping the run. At some point, Rose Hill's going to have success. They're going to have to throw the football.
Yeah, and just with them going those 2 and 3 receiver routes, really shows me that they don't have a lot of confidence in their passing game.
Ian Davis, once again, you need to come up here to the press
Most that means that front 7 is licking their chops, huh?
Yeah, it makes them really excited. The chance to get to the quarterback makes those guys want to come out every play.
All right, Buhler after the turnover, back with the ball at their own 30, back out of the eye. Here's Matt Eddy, patient runner. Starts left, cuts right, gets across the 35, so strong, down to the 36. Buhler again using.
Right there, Matt Eddy, it was about the 3rd or 4th guy that made initial contact that eventually got Eddy down.
2nd and 4, clock running, 6:45 to go in the half. 2 wings, 2 tights, high snap. They'll get it off to Eddy. And nowhere to go. That's the 2nd high snap in the game that Ty Goins has had. Crusader football on HKFM tonight, brought to you by Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs. I Need a Cleaners by Holly Sweet Treats, APAC Shears, and by Alpha Land Surveys. I guess good scenario there that your quarterback is 6'1", able to reach up and grab that.
Yep, that helps, and it's one of those things that when you're snapping, people usually don't notice it unless there's a mistake. But yeah, good to see him get the snap off. And
now loss of 2 here, 3rd and 6. They want to throw over the middle. Ooh, what a hit! Oh my goodness!
Yeah, the intended target was Cash Carson,
and he had the catch, but he got lit up and lost the ball as he went to the turf. Pro Basco. Looked like Goldberg out there lining up, crushing the opponent.
I love the old school WCW reference there.
Yeah, Carson will feel that one in his teeth. And Buhler's going to have to punt the ball away on the incompletion. And Jeff Neal, good punt here, takes a Buhler roll and out of bounds near the 31-yard line. Yeah, I like the call. And Jeff put it right on the numbers to Carson, but that hit. And you risk that crossing over the middle like that, somebody's waiting for you.
Yeah, there's a lot more traffic anytime you're throwing the ball over the middle of the field. Linebackers can help, and it gives clear shots for those safeties too. So good to see Carson okay. And yeah, both these teams kind of exchanging body blows, but nobody getting pay dirt here so far in the 2nd quarter.
Still 7-3, Rose Hill ball from their own 34. 5:56 to go before halftime. Out of the I formation, single receivers either side. Roberts under center will take the snap with 7 of the play clock. Back to pass, being chased all the way to the far side and throws it incomplete at the 40-yard line. So I'm going to ask you, fellas, 2nd and 10 here. If you watched the Chiefs game on the Monday night, what did you make of the roughing the passer call against Chris Jones? I don't know what he could have done differently other than just not touch the quarterback.
Yeah. It was about as clean a football play as you can have. You know, the ball came out on top of it. You know, it should have been the Chiefs' ball, but yeah, that's tough. And yeah, I have to got a feel for the players that are having the rules kind of change right before their eyes.
2nd and 10, 5:49 to play in this first half. And Roberts out of the gun, hands it off near side, not much there Forward progress across the 35 to the 36, a gain of 2. That's really, when you talk about differences, you get to pro level, so different than high school and the college level.
And, yeah, if you saw that tackle in a high school game, there'd be no doubt there wouldn't be a penalty. But
another big third down, meanwhile, here. 3rd and 7. Rose Hill has struggled mightily on third downs in this game. They will put their quarterback out of the gun, Roberts. Receiver McLaughlin goes in motion. 2 receivers to the right side. That's the way Roberts goes, looking to throw upfield and throws high, incomplete. And they stop him again. It's a theme in this first half. Rose Hill cannot convert on third down.
And so the Crusaders will do a great job getting the ball back. Still plenty of time. They had put together a nice drive last time they had the football, so we'll see if the Crusaders can put together another good drive and try to extend this lead.
And also, other than those 2 high snaps, been a pretty clean game. We just can't get behind on down and distance.
Yeah, we can't shoot ourselves in the foot. We're good when we're moving the ball and confident, and we've seen that tonight with Matt Eddy and Jeffrey finding some lanes to throw the ball. So, very confident, get the ball back, go drive, score 1 before half.
All right, Cobb to punt again from his 25. Again, Matt Eddy back, and this one's going to drive over his head, and it's going to roll a long ways down to the 4-yard line. That is one heck of a punt by Tegan Cobb.
That is. You talked about in the pregame that Tegan Cobb was a great kicker and punter, and that's fantastic. This will be the 2nd time tonight that he's pinned Buhler deep to start off an offensive series.
Yeah, you can't ask much more from a punter. High spiral, completely burnt Matt Eddy and got him nice inside the 5.
So the Crusaders at their own 4-yard line, 4:46 to go before halftime, leading 7-3 here. See if we can dial up a 96-yard drive with 4:45 to go. They'll run on first down. Matt Eddy bounces to the outside, gets a block on the edge, and gets across the 15-yard line up to the 16.
Well, I was about to say before that play, anytime you get pinned deep, you know, skill kids always think about, man, I could have a record here if I break a big run or we have a big pass play. So great job by Eddy getting Buhler some breathing room. This didn't happen the last time Buhler was pinned deep.
Got some help on the outside, just like a great block on the field. Pros at H&R Block provide the help you need and the biggest possible refund. Find the tax prep option for you at H&R Block. 1st and 10, and a straight ahead run. Handoff across the 15 to the 16. There's a fumbled snap, actually. Buhler able to recover. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
And that is not good to see, as one of the Crusaders is really hobbling his way back in the huddle. I think that is Neal. Or no, it isn't Neal. I don't know who it is, but one of our guys really got banged up there.
I think it is Jeff Neal who's hobbling around. Braden Gentry's going to come off the field here, the fullback.
Well, we're in that time of the season where injuries just really pile up, so hopefully Buhler, nobody's banged up.
2nd, and we're looking at a 3rd down situation here for the Crusaders. Coach Warner, you going to be pretty conservative here, knowing you get the ball to start the 2nd half, or what you thinking?
I don't know. It'll be interesting because there's one school of thought that says run it here, just try to bleed some more clock because you're maybe going to give Rose Hill good field position. There's another school of thought saying get aggressive and try to go up 2 scores.
Well, trips right, 4 wide receivers on 3rd down. Screen pass to Matt Eddy. Rose Hill reads it, and Eddy get.
Yep, so Buhler now is in danger of getting Rose Hill the ball with good field position. And still plenty of time to try to score here and retake the lead.
Well, so far on this in this 2nd quarter, a turnover on downs and INT, and now this will be the 4th punt. The offenses have been stymied. Rose Hill, it is McLaughlin, catches it at the 48, returns it into Buhler territory all the way up to the 42-yard line, 1st and 10.
Good form tackle by Alex Lee on special teams. I was a little bit nervous when McLaughlin took off because he's a dangerous player, but nice job by Alex corralling him here near the near sideline. But yeah, Rose Hill, 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. This is a great fielding position.
Leading with that early touchdown. Roberts out of the gun. 2 receivers left side, throwing over the middle, and it is tipped almost.
That ball thrown with a little bit of spice by Roberts, so nobody was able to pick him off.
Roberts didn't look all that comfortable set back there in the pocket.
Well, like I said, the fact that they keep just going 2 and 3 receiver sets, I mean, that's a team that really is
Other side, they go back to the ground. And I think that's Whitted on the carry, and he gets beaten into the turf at the 49, make it the 41-yard line.
Great job by Chase Gentry. He barrels him, stops him for a loss, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and long after that 1-yard tackle for loss.
Backwards on this drive so far. 3rd down and 11. They're in the huddle a long time. They'll come to the line now with 15 on the play clock. 1:41 here in the first half of the game clock in a 7-3 game. Colton Roberts out of the gun. 2 receivers right side. Tight end goes in motion. And a high snap. Roberts off his fingertips. He's going to fall on it back at the 50-yard line. And boy, this has gone about as bad as it could on this late drive for Rose Hill. And they're going to have to probably punt now from midfield.
Oh, yeah, they'll be punting. Now, the only bad news about that bad snap, it gives Cobb more space to work with here to try to punt and coffin corner the Crusaders. That's the only negative thing about that bad snap.
Still 1:21 to go. I think Buhler has all 3 timeouts here.
Yep, we burned our first right there.
Just takes a timeout. Our timeouts this year brought to you in part by our friends at Pile Law. If you, a friend, or a family member have been the victim of an accident, contact Pile Law. Pile Law takes the time to evaluate your options. Crusader football this season on HKFM brought to you in part by Wifco Steel Products, by Daylight Donuts, Midway Motors, by Rod's Tire and Service, and by Newfelt's Flooring. 4 punts, an INT, and a turnover on downs spell out the second quarter.
Yeah.
You know, and in that was Buhler on that first drive of the second quarter, drove the ball right down the field, had it 1st and goal, and the pick in the end zone.
Yeah, Buhler's been the closest team to scoring this quarter, but still plenty of time. 2 timeouts will remain, and Buhler will have about a minute after this punt to try to do something.
Cobb's going to kick from the 40. High kick. And Buhler's going to pick it up. Luca Gotti at the 15-yard line. So they're not going to be pinned back inside the 5, and that's the good news.
Yeah, that was really big by Gotti fielding that. He used to play shortstop up for in youth baseball a billion years ago, so good to see him.
Fields it at the 16.
Scoop that up, and yeah, that saved Buhler probably about 10 yards, and honestly gives Buhler a little bit more breathing room here to be a little bit more aggressive to try to do something with this last minute 10.
If you're Coach Neal at some point, Matt Eddy tucked there in the backfield, are you going to put him out at wide receiver at some point and see if you can't get him the ball? 1st and 10 at the 16, trips right, 4 receivers set. Jeff with time to throw down the field, over the middle, and what a catch! Wow! And guess who?
Hey, Aaron, you should be an offensive coordinator. Called it that time. They had Eddie split out to the far side. It was trips right. He was the lone receiver to the left. They had him on a post route, and he was able to hang on to a circus catch there.
Popped it up in the air with one hand, brought it in with the other as he's going to the turf. Made a brilliant catch up to the Rose Hill 45-yard line, and now a timeout taken here. What a catch by Matthew Eddy.
Anytime is Eddie time. What a play made that time by the senior.
Wow. It goes for 39 yards, and it's our Schmidt Electric spark of the game. Be sure your project will be done right the first time. With over 15 years experience, call Schmidt Electric at 960-6755. Schmidt Electric got sparked. They stopped the play to reset the clock to 1 minute. Jeff out of the gun on first down here. He's going to step up, looking for Eddie again, one-on-one to the end zone. He got a hand on this one inside the 5, but knocked away as Luke McLaughlin, the all-league safety, got in there and punched it away.
And McLaughlin used his length that time to bat it away. It was a ball that hung up in the air a little bit, but yeah, I like the play call and trying to just be aggressive and get Eddie into the end zone.
At some point, do you have to stop being surprised when he makes brilliant plays?
He's such a special kid, such a special player. It's fun every time he's out on the field.
1st and 10 at the 2nd and 10 at the 45. 4 receivers again. Far side caught near the first down stick, and a fumble.
Oh, he had his head taken off. I think it's going to come back. That's either a face mask or a horse collar, as Eddie just got
whipped to the turf. He is up. The ball came loose as he hit the ground. It was picked up by a rocket, but they throw the flag, and play as time is stopped. This could really hurt Rose Hill, really help Buhler if it is.
Well, I can't believe they're putting Matt Eddy in single coverage. They must not have watched a lot of film, because anytime Eddy's getting single coverage, I mean, you're playing with fire.
Clock stopped with 39 seconds to go here. If this is a penalty against Rose Hill, it would be their first of the game. I've only seen one other flag thrown in the first half. I guess Rose Hill did have the pass interference penalty on the touchdown to Luca Gotti.
Yes, sir.
Officials are huddled over near the Rose Hill sideline at the 45. They've been over there for a while, probably trying to process through how to call this penalty, where to spot the ball.
Well, it definitely happened before Eddy fumbled it.
Some of it, yeah. Is it a catch?
Yeah, and that might be what they're discussing. It looked like Eddy did have the catch, and then just because the way he was tackled was how he got hurt. Yeah. Is that the way you see it down the field, Carson?
Yeah, I think it involves most of that right now. They're trying to double check their answers with each other just to make sure, you called this right. This is a big game, big situation. Can put the Crusaders almost into field goal position, because Buhler, 40 seconds left. We'll see the call.
Face mask on the defense. Also, illegal forward pass on the defense after a turnover. It will be 15-yard. The second penalty will be declined. It will be 15-yard penalty.
So it's a 15-yard face mask penalty. Apparently, I did not see this after they recovered the fumble. They tried to shovel it forward to one of his teammates, and you can't do that.
Yeah, the illegal forward pass is not a signal you see every day from a white hat. I used to bring the old chart up here for all the strange off-the-wall penalties, but yeah, this is beautiful for Buhler. We are knocking on the door of the red zone.
They're going to mark that penalty from the where Matt Eddy caught it all the way up to the 21-yard line.
Fantastic situation for Buhler. 39 seconds left. Still 2 timeouts remaining for Buhler.
1st and 10. Jeff out of the gun. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Matt Eddy is in the slot to the right side. He and Luca Gotti lined up here on the right.
And they're still single covering. I mean, they're counting on McLaughlin by himself to deal with Matt Eddy. So let's watch this matchup here.
We're going to have a delay here as
Lee Weber's over.
Coach Weber's not pleased with the decision.
Well, and it's funny, I forgot that Coach Weber was the coach at Rose Hill. I coached against him a billion years ago when he was the head coach at Plainville. He's kind of been a nomad. He was at Mission Valley for a while, which if anybody knows all the towns of the Mission Valley School District, you can come to the press box and get a free Reese's anytime the rest of the game.
Do you have the Reese's to back that up?
I don't. Well, I don't yet. But that's one of those kind of forgotten schools. But yeah, let's see if Buhler can do something here.
All right, 1st and 10 of the 21. Again, Jeff out of the gun. Eddy in the slot to the right. Gotti split out to the far side. 2 receivers.
Something's going on there. Stop and play again.
To the left side also. Officials talking a couple of things over. Now they're ready to go.
I can't quite see what that is. I don't know if they're checking blood on his knee or not, but we're ready to play some football now.
All right, big 1st and 10 here. 36 seconds to go in the game from the 21. Jeff to throw, flag out. That's probably holding. Luca Gotti had a chance to catch it in the end zone, incomplete. Gotti hesitated just a minute to find the ball, and he couldn't get there in time. It is an illegal shift in the offense.
Yeah, what happened is they were going to say somebody else was moving when Eddy went into motion. That's where the illegal shift comes from.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Jeff Neal. He did a little stutter step to try to ride that fake with Matt Eddy, and he went just a little too early. Ball wasn't snapped when he thought it was, and that'll cost the Crusaders still needing to get back into field goal range now.
That'll push him back to the 31. They are close to Jeff's range. His career best is 44. 1st and 15 with the loss. Eddy with a handoff, right side, and gets back to the 21-yard line, so he gets the lost yardage back.
So Buhler will burn their second timeout with 24 ticks left in the half.
Buhler takes a timeout here, 24 seconds on the clock. A 7-3 score on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Checking out the area high school football scoreboard right now, Buhler leading Rose Hill 7-3, Mays up on Hutchinson 14-7, Pratt 21, Nickerson nothing, Kingman 13, Haven nothing, Southeast of Saline 14, Lions nothing, Smoky Valley leading Hillsboro 14-0, Moundridge up on Gossel 8-6, Heston 16, Chapman 8, it's Andale 6, Cheney nothing. Stay with us for more score updates. I'm Lucky Kid.
Crusader football on HKFM.
All right, Lucky Kid providing us with some score updates in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard here tonight. Games across the Ad Astra Sports Network. 7-3 here, as you heard Lucky say, 24 seconds to go in the quarter. Buhler facing a second down and 10.
Well, speaking of scores, hopefully the Crusaders can get their second of the night. Last time we were this close, we had the turnover in the end zone on the pick, so hopefully Buhler can make him count this go-round.
You feel like they're in the Neal field goal range now?
Yes.
Yeah, he's hit him in pre-games from 55 plus, so.
All right, 2nd and 10, see if they can get some more yardage here. Jeff out of the gun, trips right, throws single coverage to the far side. I think that's Eddie who hauls it in, but is he inbounds? Yes, touchdown! Wow!
Well, Rose Hill's been playing with fire. They put McLaughlin one-on-one with Eddie, and Neal that time threw a ball that only Eddie can make a play on. McLaughlin's taller than him, but it's a great pitch and catch that time by Neal to Eddie for our second touchdown of the night.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now, Hall of Fame. I mean, kid's amazing.
Anytime is Eddie time. What a special night for that young man.
Touchdown with 18 seconds left on the first half clock. Jeff Neal boosts the PAT through. Buhler with a 2-score lead. 14-3 on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Custom Building has a great plan and a budget suited for your needs. Whether it's a new build, a remodel of a kitchen, interior, exterior, or an insurance restoration project, Erickson Custom Building provides quality craftsmanship and superior customer service. We stand behind our work and have lasting relationships with vendors, suppliers, and most importantly, with you, the customer. Erickson Custom Building, proud to support all high school activities. Call 620-585-2816 or visit EricksonCustomBLDG.com.
Even trying to enjoy a fun event can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort and empathy during time of loss. Rely on me to guide you through all aspects of planning a funeral service with compassion, dignity, and respect. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
5 plays, 84 yards, and a second touchdown catch of the night. This time to Matt Eddy for 31 yards. And Jeffrey will kick it. It's going to bounce at the 20, picked up at the 15. Far side return, Rose Hill 30-35, and tripped up near the 39-yard line is Connor Wallace. And Rose Hill will have it with 11 ticks left on the second quarter clock. Peter with 2 back-to-back unanswered touchdowns here.
Yes, and touchdown-saving tackle made that time by Owen Schmidt. Of course, his dad's is the head baseball coach at HCC. He was talking with him earlier this week, and he was talking, even though I love baseball, you can't beat a beautiful Friday night. Man, what a beautiful night it is.
Yes, 1st and 10 here. Rockets from the 38, 3 receivers left, 1 right. Roberts out of the gun. They're going to hand it off. And flag down as Probasco gets across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. Rose Hill's going to have to find a way to get some yardage in the pass game.
Yeah, and if they continue just doing those 2 receiver routes, I mean, those are a lot easier to cover because you got a corner and a safety helping. So I like that setup for Buhler.
Holding of the offense is the penalty. That'll be the 3rd of the night on the Rockets. And it pushes them back to the 28-yard line.
And I bet you Rose Hill might just let this thing run out.
Yeah, they don't have to take another snap, and they will not. Buhler will get the ball to start the second half. What a What a last drive of the half for the Crusaders. Had it at their own 16, and time was against them. 2 huge catches. The catch Matt made here at midfield, where he brought it back to himself. I think he just basically got his fingertips on it, brought it back to himself, caught it with the other hand. That was brilliant.
He is something special, and he accounted for the lion's share of the yards on that long drive for Buhler.
All right, Crusaders go to the locker room up 2 scores, 14-3 in this matchup of a pair of 3-3 teams. They have the lead at halftime. Our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report coming up. Crusader football tonight, brought to you in part by Allstate agent Andrew Parr, by Midwest Iron and Metal, by Red Rock Auto Center, the Medicine Shop, and by Ediger Family Dental. And we will have our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report coming up next. We'll talk with head band director Nathan Biggs. They had a big show last weekend, another big one coming up, the competition this weekend. We'll visit with Mr. Biggs when we come back here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Tonight's coverage of Crusader football continues next with the Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Coming up, Aaron and Chris recap tonight's first half, and we'll catch up with other coaches and athletes in This Week in Crusader Sports. 95.9 HKFM.
Hi, this is James with IdeaTech. We love bringing internet freedom to the residents and businesses of Buhler. IdeaTech is a proud supporter and the preferred internet provider of the Buhler Crusaders. As the Crusaders know, speed wins. We back up our lightning-fast internet with a customer-first philosophy. That means you will talk to a live person from our office in Buhler when you call in. If you're not already a customer, go to ideatech.com and click on Check Availability. Or you can call us at 620-543-5000 to inquire more about our services.
This is Derek Fees with APAC Kansas Shears Division. You know we do big projects, but we also want you to know we can help you with parking lots, driveways, and other projects at your home or business. Asphalt or concrete, we're here to help. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
Neufeld Flooring, proud supporter of Buhler High School activities. We are your experts for all your floor covering needs. Please make an appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler, or give us a call at 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders!
Rise and shine. It's daylight time and time to go to your happy place. With kids back in school, that means fall flavors are returning to your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts. Bear claws, pine cones, pumpkin and apple spice cake donuts, and of course, all your favorite standards made fresh from scratch each morning. Order online and have them ready to pick up by going to HutchinsonDaylightDonuts.com. At 3rd and Main and 1435 East 30th, we're your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts.
Hey fans, this is Rachel Nelson. It's game time and I Need a Cleaners can help you look like a winner. Spend your valuable time prepping for the game, not doing laundry. Keep your knit polos and khaki pants looking great. For the winning look, stop by I Need a Cleaners, 13th and Main in Hutchinson.
Well, back here at halftime, our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Time to talk to head band director Nathan Biggs. Nathan, thanks for some time, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously, the full show on the field tonight. Talk to us a little bit about this year's show and kind of maybe some details behind it.
Yeah, this year's show is called Valor. It's a tribute to all those that have displayed extraordinary courage in the face of fear. It's a salute to all those that are currently and have served our country as members of the armed forces, as well as our first responders. The show takes you through the trials and tribulations of, what they experienced through war and terror attacks, and even most recently the COVID pandemic. And it's the show is to celebrate and pay fond tribute to them and our admiration for them and for all those that sacrificed some and also those that sacrificed all.
Yeah, fantastic. Can't wait to see the full show on the field. I know that so many hours and a lot of hard work, even back into the summer, goes into putting it all together. So,
yeah, absolutely. Kids have been putting in lots of hours with band camp and early morning sectionals and just additional work behind the scenes at home and stuff. So, yeah, we're very proud of this group.
Guys, always, of course, pretty competitive season. The competitions, which started last weekend, I believe, and you guys did pretty well in your first one.
Yeah, last Last Saturday, we traveled to Olathe for the Olathe Marching Invitational, and the kids came back to Shawnee Mission North Marching Invitational, which will be a completely different lineup of competitive bands. And most of our bands are coming from the Kansas City area, as well as some from South Central Kansas.
It's got to be a long day. You play, and then you wait, and then you play, and then you wait. It's got to be mentally, physically draining on everybody.
Absolutely. I mean, our day, usually our competitions day shows up, kids show up at 6 a.m., and we get everything all loaded up and on the buses and travel for 3, sometimes 4 hours. And then we do our prelim show performance. And if we do well enough, we go on to finals. And so we're hoping we'll have that same success going into Shawnee Mission, as well as our performance at the University of Kansas on the 22nd, which is the Kansas Bandmasters Association state marching competition. So.
All right, very good. Well, we'll look forward to following along and seeing those results. Of course, taking over at the high school this year, how's that been for you?
It's a new type of being busy. I enjoy the new challenge. I've been here at Buhler. This is my 18th year. Continue building on that. So.
All right, sir. Well, best of luck with the rest of the competition season. Thanks for some time tonight. And, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Band director Nathan Biggs with us here at halftime. More coming up after this.
More of the Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report is coming up after this. Prairie Bank of Kansas, your locally owned full-service bank since 1886. 95.9 HKFM. The Buhler Crusaders play here.
At Morton Salt in South Hutch, we're passionate about what we do and how we do it. That's because we're helping to improve people's lives in more ways and places than ever before. Hi, this is Evan Moody, General Manager. To learn more, go to mortonsalt.com.
Each and every day, WIFCO Steel products are trusted to provide access and infrastructure for a wide range of purposes. For more info on what WIFCO can do for you, go to wifcosp.com. WIFCO Steel Products, the experts in steel fabrication.
Come visit us at Buhler Dental Care. Our friendly and experienced staff is here to help give you the best care around, and we like to have some fun and get to know you while you spend time with us. From regular fillings, cleanings, dental implants, or even if we have to, extractions, we can provide the treatments you need. We are always accepting new patients, so be sure to call us at 620-543-2768 to schedule your next appointment, or email online at drdalls@gmail.com. Buhler Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation and Sports Performance, together for your orthopedic needs. Now seeing physical therapy patients at Sterling College as well as our location in Hutchinson, enhancing the quality of your life and helping you return to the activities you love. Visit Summit online at summitks.com or call 620-665-7766 to make your consultation appointment. Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation and Sports Performance, together for exceptional health care.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, back here, our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report in a 7-3 game. Let's enjoy a little sound of the Marching Crusaders here at halftime performing their show tonight. Thanks to band director Nathan Biggs for joining us. They'll be performing in competition again this weekend. We mentioned 14-3 here at halftime. Rose Hill scored first in the first quarter on their second series drive. Started at the Buhler 35. 7 plays and a 22-yard field goal by Tegan Gross made it 3-0. Buhler would answer right back on their next series. Started from their own 20. 5 plays, 80 yards, and a 57-yard touchdown pass from Jeff Neal to Luca Gotti. Gotti had gotten shoved on the play. They called pass interference, held on into the end zone for the score. His first catch of the year to make it 7-3 with an extra point. That would be it until late in the first half. Buhler had one other opportunity to score. They had the ball first and goal early in the second quarter at the Rose Hill 8-yard line. And a pass tipped in the air by the Buhler tight end. Picked off by the Rockets. It would be much later in the second quarter before Buhler would get its second score. They got the ball with 1:10 to play in the half. From their own 16, they go 5 plays, 84 yards. Matt Eddy made 2 brilliant catches on that series, Carson, including the 31-yard touchdown in the corner, which was a perfect pass, by the way, from Jeff Neal.
Yeah, it was a pass that you kind of see in the upper levels. Jeff Neal, great spiral, knew Matt Eddy was going to be there. That's the great thing about having a receiver you can rely on is I'm just going to throw it, and I know he's going to get it. I still don't know why he's single covered. He has shown time and time and time again that he is going to win any jump ball, anything that's thrown around him. He is going to win it. I hope he gets he was a little banged up. Hope that this halftime was a great break for him and gets back out there. But you want to talk about a football thrown by Jeff Neal. He's been on point tonight. His interception, he's made an incredible play to get it close to our receiver. Should have been caught, just went right through his hands. So that's just a minor setback, and you got to feel good about yourself leading 14-3.
Well, I asked you, Coach going to turn him loose on that series, get him out of the backfield and stretch the field, and it worked out.
You called the shot, Aaron.
Yeah.
Like I said, future offensive coordinator here.
Couple of big catches, and the face mask was a huge penalty call on Rose Hill on that drive, too.
It really was. I mean, this has been, you talked about it, it's been a very clean game. There hasn't been many penalties from either squad, but that one was really big. I mean, the thing about it, even if there hadn't been the penalty yardage, well, I guess there would have been the fumble, but how much was the fumble caused by Matt Eddy getting his head taken off? So, I mean, it's kind of one of those things, what happened, but, yeah, the Crusaders doing a great job of bouncing back from the earlier turnover to march down the field and score.
All right, we'll have first half stats, some other scores coming up, and our This Week in Crusader Sports when we come back. 14-3 here at halftime. Buhler over Rose Hill on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Our kids have lots of reasons to celebrate. Before dropping your kid off at the party, create an exit plan to help make good choices. Talk with your child about what to do when faced with difficult decisions about alcohol. Come up with a plan together to avoid drinking, such as texting a code word to a family member or practicing how to say no thanks in a safe environment. For tips on how and when to begin the conversation, visit resources at riseupreno.org. Rise up, Reno.
At Dix Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dix offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dix Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
If you're getting ready to buy or sell land, start a building project, or have a property line in question, call Alpha Land Surveys. With over 30 years of experience, you can trust Alpha Land Surveys. Call 728-0012 or go to alphalandsurveys.com.
Well, welcome back on our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Week 7 here at Crusader Stadium. Second half between Buhler and Rose Hill coming up. We'll have some other first half scores in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard on the way as well. This week in Crusader Sports, it's been an impressive stretch for Buhler soccer. The Crusaders have reeled off 11 straight wins, including 2 more this past week. The Buhler offense exploded for 12 goals against Circle on Tuesday at Crusader Stadium. Jalen Cherry finished the night with a hat trick. Thursday, the Crusaders were back on the pitch in Salina where they faced a tough South Cougar team. Buhler jumped out to a 4-0 lead with 10 minutes remaining in the first half. South would had a pair of goals in the second half, resulting in a 4-2 final. Now 12-1 with just 3 matches remaining in the regular season. Pewter will be at home Tuesday for senior night against El Dorado. Pewter Golf is headed back to 4A State after finishing in the top 3 at Monday's Mcpherson Regional. The Lady Crusaders shot a .393 to place third. Junior Marley Cooper contributed a solid outing, medaling in third individually. She shot an impressive 86 on a very tough Turkey Creek course. Pewter will tee off this coming Monday at 4A State in Topeka. Pewter tennis qualified 2 entries for this weekend's 4A State meet in Prairie Village. Early results from today in singles. Olivia Frederick won her second round match 6-0, 6-0 after receiving a first round bye. In doubles, Kayla Babcock and Tegan Nickel also received a first round bye. The pair won their second round match 6-1, 6-0. Play continues from Harmon Park Tennis Complex tonight and tomorrow. Pewter Cross Country ran at league at El Dorado on Thursday. Varsity Boyles medaled first with Caden Lawrence and Lane Whistler crossing the finish line second and third individually. JV boys dominated their league race, claiming the top 12 finishing positions. Meanwhile, varsity girls grabbed second place with 3 Lady Crusaders finishing in the top 10. Up next, the postseason begins with regionals at Mcpherson on October 22nd. Pewter Volleyball had a busy week, going 3-4 in a pair of meets. The Lady Crusaders earned wins last Saturday over Augusta and Wichita West. On Tuesday, they dropped a pair to Mcpherson and Mulvane. Be sure to come out and support senior night this coming Tuesday at Jim Baker Fieldhouse. Pewter freshmen and JV football remain undefeated here late in the season. Coming up on Monday, the freshmen travel to Andale while JV is at Rose Hill. Let's look at our This Week in Crusader Sports. More of our halftime coming up after this.
You're listening to the Prairie Bank of Kansas Halftime Report. Tonight's second half kickoff is coming up next. Join Aaron West and head coach Steve Warner Monday nights at 6:30 for the Crusader Coaches Show, 95.9 HKFM.
Hi, this is Randy Gotti with the Buhler Booster Club. Please consider membership in our Booster Club to support all students at Buhler High School. Follow the Buhler Booster Club and the Buhler Crusader Closet on Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date with new arrivals and activity schedules.
At People's Bank and Trust, we value our customers. We know you have plenty of choices for your mortgage loans, but we think we have what you're looking for: relationship banking. And if you're considering refinancing or purchasing a new home, check our competitive rates before you make that change. Your payments will be made at home, and you'll receive good personalized service. That's how we've established many long-lasting relationships. Make a change, know your lender, and make your payments at home with People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, back here on our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report. Real quick, Christopher, as we get ready here, start of the second half coming up. Why don't you share some first half stats with us?
Yeah, in the first half, Buhler with the decided advantage. Total offense, 219 yards for Buhler compared to Rose Hill's 74. Buhler, 6 of 10 through the air for 132 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception for Neal. And for Rose Hill, they're just 3 of 8 for 13 yards on the ground. Buhler with 87 yards compared to Rose Hill's 61. And individual yardage for Buhler, Matt Eddy, 4 catches, 69 yards, 1 TD. He's the leading rusher for Buhler as well, 14 carries for 85 yards.
All right, thoughts, guys, on the second half coming up. Buhler gets the ball to start this second half, and good Coach Warner offense. I'm sure he'd like to control the clock here coming out in this third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, don't change what you're doing. What you've done is worked so far, and just limit the turnovers and limit shooting yourselves in the foot. We got to get the snaps down, and can't have any stupid penalties on offense.
Tegan Cobb, good right foot, kicks it off. Line drive shot that goes through the legs of Gotti and picks it up in the end zone.
Yep, and at the high school ranks, if it just breaks the goal line, it's a touchback. So Buhler will set up shop at the 20.
I think he was kind of surprised with that line drive bullet off the foot of Cobb. He's been banging him out of the end zone most of the night tonight. The wind is picked up a little bit.
Yeah, it was kind of strange at halftime. It started blowing around here in the press box, and don't know which direction it's out. It kind of just feels like a swirling wind, if you will.
Buhler 1st and 10 from their own 20. 2 touchdowns in the first half to lead 14-3. Going right to left here in the second half. And here's Matt Eddy backdoor. Nice cut to the inside at the 25. And across the 25 to the 31. You know, Matt Eddy's one of those kids. I know we talk about him a lot, but if you said, Matt, go run through that wall, he'd sure do it for you. An offensive tackle who is down at the 31, right where the tackle was made on Matt Eddy. And we've got an injury timeout. Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation Sports Performance sponsors our injury timeouts this year. Schedule your free consultation at summitks.com. The Summit, together for exceptional health care. We'll come back with.
It's not too late to get enrolled. We have classes starting throughout the semester. Call 620-665-3535 or email myfuture@hutchcc.edu today.
New Felts Flooring, proud supporter of Buhler High School activities. We are your experts for all your floor covering needs. Please make an appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler.
These are able to walk off the field. 1st and 10 at the 31 here. 11:50 to go in the third. Buhler leading 14-3. They'll line up from the left hash mark, going right to left in quarter number 3. Jeff Neal out of the gun. 3 receivers stacked to the right, 45.
Yeah, Rose Hill's been tackling high, I mean, throughout the game. Great lead block thrown that time by the fullback, Braden Gentry. And I love the way this drive is starting off for the Crusaders. We are just gashing Rose Hill. And if Buhler could get, like we talked about in the pregame, whoever gets to 21 first, I think is going to get the dub.
1st and 10 at the 45. They go with 2 receivers again to the second half. Now at the 49, going to be 2nd down and 4.
And this offensive series for Buhler just has some good momentum, a good feel. And, yeah, Buhler really has that.
Yeah, in the postseason.
Exactly.
2nd down and 4 with the clock running. Out of the gun, Eddy, and with a single back. And those 2 or 3 receivers bunched to the right side. It's a new look for Coach Warner.
Yeah, they go with a set where they basically got obsessed tonight against this Rose Hill defense.
Not known as a team to run out of the shotgun a ton, but doing it here on this drive successfully. 1st and 10 at the 44. They stay with it at the 40. I thought he was going to be stopped for a yard and ends up with 3 or 4.
Matt Eddy, never say die when he's got the football in his hands. Just relentless running.
Picks up almost 4. We're going to call it 2nd down and 6. Jeff stays out of the gun.
And a scrimmage that time by one of the D linemen. It was Connor Jackson. Eddy kind of got stood up for a second, broke out of a tackle, but Jackson was right down the line and just knocked score game. That's really going to put a ton of pressure on this Rose Hill offense that has really struggled tonight.
3rd down and 5 at the 40. 9:08 more than that. Now you're facing a 4th down and need 5 yards for the 1st down.
I'm going to pin him deep here to make him operate out of the back of the end zone.
They could have got it 4th and 3, 4th and 2. Maybe you go for it. He's right in front of the pylon and goes out of bounds. How in the world? Rose Hill.
Maroon paint when they snap the football here. What a coffin corner kick.
That looked like Moles, that it bounced right.
Perfect coffin corner punt. You know, it's a big momentum shifter in the special team game. That is.
Rockets are going to start at their own 2. And Black Knights are smelling 2 here. To the 3.
Actually, it's going to be a loss. If the chains on the far side are right.
So looks like they have
for the Black Knights.
So 2nd down and 11.
Key thing you don't want to do here, selling out, trying to get the safety, letting there be a big play.
The ball, nose of the football, just touching the 5, gain of 3, and 3rd down coming up.
Massive 3rd down with that clock running here.
3rd and 8 for the Rocket.
They've got to get clear out to around the 13-yard line for 1st down.
At the 10 on the far side, receiver hit as he tried to
blow right as the ball arrived. There's a flag in the backfield. It's a hold.
To be in his own end zone.
Well, I remember when I was in high school, we always practiced punting with the punt.
Could be disastrous. Cobb will get it away. He's one of the best in the league. Buhler's going to have fantastic field position here.
Yeah, the punt on 4th down. Pays off big here. Buhler has the great coffin corner kick.
You know that Cobb's got a better leg than that, but when you're pinned in the back of the end zone, you still have a lot of room to maneuver.
The wind's starting to be a factor down here, blowing right against the punt.
All right, from the 30 and a throw over the middle, incomplete. That was dangerous, down at 10.
Well, I want to give a quick Buhler Dental Care scoreboard update because I know there's a lot of people interested in Inman's lot. Right now, they are trailing early in the third.
2nd and 10 from the 29, out of the eye, play action. Now Jeff's going to option in the run game to the left side and keep it forward progress up to the 21-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 9, make it a gain of 8. So 3rd and 2, and I think definitely now you're in that 4-down territory.
Yeah, because which way is the wind coming out of Carson?
It's blowing with the Crusaders right now, so it's from the south to the north.
Jeff out of the gun, they'll hand it off. Matt Eddy on the inside run, breaks free, might have been stopped short, but tough to bring down, gets across the 15 to the 14-yard line. It's impressive.
Out of the tackle and picks up the 1st down.
2nd and 10, 1st and 10 from the 14 after the Matt Eddy run. Out of the I formation, 2 receivers right side. Here's Eddy on the ground, bouncing off a would-be tackler to the outside. Gets
inside the red zone. The beautiful thing is Buhler can get a 1st down without scoring here, so they've got lots of opportunities to try to cross that south goal line.
5 yards on the play for Seam, falls forward to the 5, close to a 1st down. He might be about a half a yard shy.
Yeah, they're going to spot him just short of the line to gain.
Good vision that time, too. That inside run, he bounced to the outside.
Yeah, the line to gain is about halfway between.
You call it here, Coach. Will sneak up the middle.
Oh, they're powering it. They got the A set, as they call it.
And Matt Eddy, forward progress, should get the 1st down.
Yeah, he had enough here. Great run that time by Matt Eddy.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Spot to be.
Nick Gazaway was in at that super back. He checks out. Here's Matt Eddy banging it way forward to the goal line, waiting for the signal. Touchdown, Crusaders!
Well, nobody deserves that touchdown more than Matt Eddy of the night.
3:46 now to go in the 3rd. A 4-yard Matt Eddy run for Matthew. That is his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. And the place is down. The kick is up, and it is good. 3:46 to go in the 3rd. It's now 21-3 Crusaders here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Dix Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dix offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dix Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Prairie Bank of Kansas is a local bank with local concerns. You'll find us in the heart of the community, helping wherever we're needed. We enjoy working with local schools to help promote in Stafford, Buhler, Inman, or Hutchinson. Or check us out online at prairiebankks.com. Prairie Bank of Kansas, how banking should be.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And our Crusader football coverage this season brought to you in part by Prairie Bank of Kansas, by Heston Bakery, Erickson Custom Building, by Crusader Booster Club, and by Idea Tech Buhler with a 3rd score of the night. 1 receiving now, 1 rushing for Matt Eddy. Near sideline across the 30 and banged out of bounds. The return man at about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Cruz Hirschberger was the special teams player that just lowered the shoulder and knocked the return man out of bounds. So you talked about it, Aaron, during the timeout. We don't feel like Rose Hill can come back unless they...
3 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, that was a nice long drive, and just the kind of drive that really starts breaking the will of your opponent's defense.
Rockets out of the eyes, single receivers either side on 1st and 10 from their own 30. The pitch to the left side. Forward progress of 2 to the 37. There's just nothing in a hurry about this Rose Hill offense. It seems like every snap comes late in the play clock. Just not a lot of urgency.
Yeah, they're not an up-tempo team by any stretch of the imagination.
2nd and 8 after a gain of 2. Roberts out of the gun, 2 receivers right. They line the fullback up on the left side of the offensive line. Fake to Probasco, throw near side, caught short of the first down. Coming up here.
Fantastic tackle in space that time by Jeremy Gentry, the strong safety, as he just roped him up and dropped him after a couple-yard pickup.
So the Rockets need the 45 for a first down. Ball at the 42.
And they might be in 4-down territory, even though they're on their side of the field, and we're not even in the fourth quarter yet.
2:27 still to go here in the third. 21-3 Crusaders. Rockets to the line in a hurry here, down to 5 on the play clock. Out of the I formation. You hand that ball off to Tyler Kaiser. There's nowhere. He's a big fella. Nowhere for him to hide.
Yeah, 6 foot, 207. He got tackled that time by Bryce Ruda, who's 5'10", 155. But Bryce knows the low man wins, and Ruda was low.
Out of the shotgun. 3-back set. It's going to be Probasco trying to get to the outside. Sheds off one blocker and stopped at the line of scrimmage on the far side. Ball comes out. Crusaders say they have it. They do. Turnover, Rockets.
Great job by the Crusaders. The linebackers have played downhill. And, yeah, what a great turn of events is now Buhler will get the ball back after scoring on their last possession.
33 to go here in the third. Buhler leading 21-3. Each team started the year 0-3. Next Friday against Mcpherson. Rose Hill wraps up at home against Wellington next Friday night. 1st and 10 at the 45. Buhler out of the eye. Jeff Neal, 2 receivers left side, takes the snap, hands up to the 38-yard line.
Great run by Eddie as the edge really started to collapse. He saw a seam and just stayed low and shot forward.
Down to the 31. I don't know, but I'm looking at this clock. Still 57 seconds to go in the third. Feels later than that.
It does. This third quarter seems like it's taken a long this clock.
Be interesting to see, too. You get another score here. Does at some point Coach consider giving Matt Eddy some rest? 1st and 10 at the 30.
And we were talking about Mcpherson a minute ago. They currently
here on the Strimals, just getting low and finding extra yards after the point of contact. This time up to the 20.
He's explosive, so once he sees that gap, he puts his head down and he makes sure he gets a few extra. Those arm tackles aren't doing much tonight, as we've seen. His yards after contact are through the roof.
All right, into the third, 21-3 Crusaders.
Questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, 2nd and 6 here for the Crusaders. At the 26, Gavin Patton with those crutches on the sideline had surgery. A torn knee this week. Repair that. Here's Matt Eddy on a 2nd down, tackled at the 25. Gain of 1 is looking down there. There's Patton on crutches. Right next to him is Bodie. And those are 2 guys sure would love to have on the field, huh?
No doubt. Had the opportunity to coach both of them in youth football, and they were some of our best players on our team way back in the day. And it's tragic that both of their seasons came to a conclusion due to injury, but, you know, they've got to be happy that their team is doing well this evening.
3rd and 4 at the 25-yard line. They're going to stay on the ground with Matt Eddy, and he is stood up, falls forward to the 22. I think we should go for it here on 4th and 2.
It is so close. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Warner decides to do. Looks like they're going to go for it as Austin Rogers will bring the play in, which I agree with the call to go for it here because long field goals are dangerous. We saw that last week.
Hey, Buhler's had a lot of success on 4th down this year. They're 10 of 19.
That is a fantastic stat. If you're
rolling out to his left, is going to take off. He's got the first down. As he powers his way across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, they ran the counter that time, quarterback keeper, and Neal had just enough to get that first down. Good hard run by him as he goes around the left end.
10:33 to go in the game. 21-3 Buhler, 1st and 10 now at the Rose Hill 19 after that rocket fumble near midfield.
So Buhler breaks into the red zone on that run by Neal.
Out of the I formation, single receivers either side on 1st and 10. Jeff Neal talking it over with his offensive line. Now they'll get set with 10 on the play clock and hand it off. Matt Eddy starts left, goes right, drug down from behind, but not before he gets forward progress. Almost to the 15, we'll call it. Gain of 4.
Clock continuing to bleed here. Buhler doing a nice job of taking time, not snapping the ball early.
Well, if they can hold on for this one, there's not going to be any anticipation about next week, is there?
Well, that's one of the things. I'm glad we didn't talk much about Mac in the pregame, because literally one of the things that scared me about this evening was just when you have that big rivalry game coming up, sometimes people can look ahead. So obvious that the guys took Rose Hill serious and didn't get looking too far ahead.
2nd and 6, so keep it on the ground. Matt Eddy is going to be brought down for no gain, a loss. 8 into the game. 3rd and 7, 9 minutes to play.
Yeah, Buhler needs to gain something here to try to make that 4th down a little bit more manageable, because 4th and 7's really spooky.
Crusader football this season brought to you in part by H&R Block, by Ray and Sons Roofing, the Sheila Metzger Agency, by Advanced Physical Therapy, and by Hutch Rec. We're live tonight from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. Allen Samuels, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Come by, let's be friends. 3rd and 7. Pitch to the right, flag down on the play. Matt Eddy back to the 15, and that is it.
And with where that flag is, it's going to be a hold on the edge on Buhler, unfortunately.
Holding is the call against the Crusaders. Just the 3rd penalty called tonight against the Crusaders.
Yeah, been a very clean game. Few penalties, only 1 turnover.
Only 1 big penalty that I can remember in the game. That really.
Buhler's got a lot longer to go here. The line to gain is inside the 10, and the ball clear back out near the 28.
It's not 3rd and 7 anymore.
No.
And Jeff Neal to throw, double clutches, throws near side, incomplete. And looking for Luca Gotti here in the near sideline. See if they go for it on 4th down. And coach wants to try and pin the Rockets deep in their own territory.
Yeah, this makes sense, because it would be a really, really, really long field goal.
8:12 to go in the game. Clock stopped with the incomplete pass. They're going to go for it. Out of the eye on 4th and 19. They're just going to keep it on the ground. Matt Eddy breaks free. 20. Ooh, what a big hit. Up to the 16-yard line. And that'll be a turnover on downs. Tell you what, consistently tonight, Rose Hill's been tackling high. And whew, scary.
It is, and that's one of the reasons why they had that face mask earlier on, because anytime if you're tackling high, obviously your hands are going to be high, and there's a better chance of you getting those face masks. But
neck injuries scare me.
Oh yeah, anytime. I mean, that's one of the reasons why they teach you to tackle low, is just to try to protect each other's noggins.
All right, 1st and 10 here, 4th quarter, the Rockets. And out of bounds, big run for the Rockets tailback. That is Boded Whitted, gets across the 40 and up to the 42.
And he's been kind of lightning in a bottle. I mean, it seems like some of the biggest runs they've had this evening have been him going to
receivers left, 1 right. Now they'll put Ben Peck in motion. And rolling to this right, Roberts finds his man, 1st down into Buhler territory. That might be his best throw of the night. Across the 45, to the 44, the Crusaders.
Well, I tell you, just when we thought Rose Hill was maybe kind of
out there tonight, as we'll go through our complete scoreboard. At the end of the game, Kingman dominates Haven tonight, 42-0. Colton Roberts out of the gun, throws in the.
Jeremy Gentry, he's having
been good tonight.
He has made a lot of tackles this evening for Buhler.
Andale leading Cheney 24-0 late in the third. Smoky Valley over Hillsborough 44-6, middle third quarter. 7:15 to go here, 21-3. He got hit as he let it go. It's not been accurate when he's had to throw in a hurry, incomplete.
Yeah, Buhler's done a nice job, the front four. Buhler hasn't blitzed much tonight. It's just been the pressure from the front four D linemen, but they've done a good job. Alex Lee and Brian Regier, the DNs, anchoring the edges, along with Gentry and Carson in between.
Trinity Catholic just leading Sterling 14-0. That's a young Sterling team. It lets it go, and a nice catch, but was he inbounds? No, they say that Ben Peck did not get his feet down as he caught it in the near sideline. Incomplete at the 30. Good pressure by the Black Knights in the backfield.
Yeah, I was reading the near officials' body language like nobody's business, and I thought for a second he was going to rule him inbounds, but luckily.
On a 4th down and 8.
Big 4th down on the way. Let's see if the Black Knight defense can keep Rose Hill to just their field goal.
And short of the first down, good tackle on the far side, Jaden Jones.
Oh, malarkey.
And did they throw a flag?
No, they gave him the spot of the century. Wow.
He was well short.
Yeah. I mean, he got stonewalled right around the 40.
I don't know that that is, yeah, he was well short.
Yeah, you heard the collective moan from the Buhler sideline because
Roberts out of the gun. They'll hand it off.
I think
it's going to be against the Rockets.
Yeah, with where it was thrown, it's a hold.
Holding. Yeah.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty, replay first down.
10-yard hold. They'll replay first down. 7. That is in Mcpherson.
Just got a score update out of Lions. Southeast of Saline now up on the poor Lions, 86-0.
Wow. First and now the helmet comes off as Braden Gentry made the tackle. And the sack on the quarterback.
He got to do a little put his hands through his hair there through the mane after the tackle.
But about Black Knight defense running to the ball, there are about 5 Crusaders following Gentry, ready to hit the quarterback.
Lost a yard back to the 43. 2nd down and long here. Roberts stays out of the guns and
yeah. That little series there reminded me in old school video games, Aaron, when you're the quarterback, you're getting pressured, you start running backwards to try to get the ball off, and Cash Carson was the guy chasing him.
You know, Buhler, really those smaller two-techs. 3rd down and 9 at the, or 3rd down and 19 at the 43. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Shotgun snap off the edge. Here comes Will Hanen. Quarterback hit as he throws in.
They're starting to go 4 wide. They're having trouble giving Roberts much time to get the football out.
That time with the pressure was the Warside linebacker, Will Hanen. 2 touchdowns in the first half, 1 in the second half. Each team with a turnover tonight.
Big time throwing situation here.
Match going on at the 45-yard line. The ball is caught well shy of a first down. If it's not on the defense, it's going to be a turnover on downs.
Luca Gotti was the one bringing the lumber that time for Buhler.
And Buhler's going to get the ball back here with 5:38 to play.
Yeah, you mentioned taking Matt Eddy out of the game when you feel pretty comfortable, and we just got a congratulations handshake from Coach Neal as I believe I see Cruz Hirschberger in.
Buhler's going to be from their own 31. And as Braden Gentry, the fullback, from the 31, forward progress up to the 34 and a gain of 3. So Matt Eddy's night is done.
That's good. I mean,
next week
it'll definitely be an all hands on deck evening.
Cruz Hirschberger in at tailback now. Brings up 3rd down and 4.
Clock continues. Talked about it that both these squads coming in with the 3-game winning streak. Someone's going to have the momentum going into the final week of the regular season. Looks like it's going to be Buhler.
3rd down.
And he's following a block of another sophomore, Nick Gasaway, out there at fullback. Every first down we get is one step closer to getting out of here.
In the eye, 1st and 10 at the 43. Here's Hirschberger. Might have a new, and Rose Hill wants a timeout. Football sitting at the 43. 2nd down coming up. Pile lots.
Wins over Pretty Prairie 54-0. Cunningham winning over Burton 72-0. In other scores, Buhler leads Rose Hill 21-44-6. Andy leading Cheney 24-0. Upset alert in class.
And thank you, Lucky, for that Buhler's Dental Care scoreboard update. From regular teeth clinics to advanced periodontal work, your hometown dentist is Buhler Dental Care. I think Southeast is now hung 96 on Lions.
Gonna burn another one.
Forward progress up to the 44-yard line, gain of 1. They take a timeout. We will as well. Back after this on HKFM and the Crusaders Sports Network.
Allen Salmon at AllenSamuelsHutch.com for our new inventory arriving daily. And remember, Ladies' Day is every Tuesday for discounted oil changes, tire rotation, and a free car wash. Allen Samuels on the giant corner of 30th and Lorraine.
AFM.
Aaron West, Chris Shank, Carson Muller with you tonight from Crusader Stadium on Pink Night in support of the Cancer Council of Reno County. 2nd down and 9 here at the 44. They've got their Starlight event tomorrow night. Here's the tailback on a right side run. No gain at the 45. Give him a yard, and it's going to be 4 down. Those who have battled or are battling cancer, you can go and decorate the paper boats. And then once it gets dark, they're going to float those on the creek there at Avenue A. So.
Yeah, and the Cancer Council, Reno County, just such a great organization. Every dollar they raise helps people within this county. And, yeah, that's just there's so many great charities out there. Cancer Council, definitely one of those fantastic local charities.
Yeah, a lot of good moms. Yeah, to provide them resources.
Just from driving by the fairgrounds,
it was
like
full.
It was a big full house.
Kathy Gerst catered the meal. It was fantastic, by the way.
Can't get any better than Kathy Gerst.
45-yard line, 4th down.
4th down and 8 here. Jeff Neal's going to punt away. Off the right foot, good kick. And it's fumbled. It does go out of bounds. Boy, Rose Hill's fortunate there. Matt Eddy was right on it. If that ball didn't go out of bounds, he can grab onto it.
That kind of cracked me up. Luke McLaughlin fumbled it. I'm sure you saw that too, Carson. He kind of just waved the ball.
On the receiving team.
Holding call on Rose Hill. It's going to be tacked on to the end of the return.
Yeah, it was one of those plays where the punt returner thinks he has the ball and doesn't want to get killed because he feels the pressure of the Black Knight defense, and he ended up going out of bounds and he muffed it. But great opportunity for Crusaders to get one more stop here, get the ball back, and kill the rest of this clock.
Like I said, if that ball didn't go out of bounds, Matt Eddy is right there.
Yeah. Buhler had guys flying down the field trying to cover.
See where they're going to spot this with the holding penalty on the return. Rose Hill's going to be marched back all the way to the 19.
1st and 10, 19-yard line.
So now if you're Buhler, you just don't want to let up and have a cheap touchdown here. Rose Hill's going 4 wide. They're going to try to air it out and try to make something happen.
2 receivers left, 2 right. And caught across the 25. Up at the 26, 26-yard line, shy of the 1st down.
Chase Gentry in on the stop for Buhler.
Connor Wallace made the catch.
7-yard
gain of 7. 2nd down and 3.
We just got a score update from Smizer Stadium in Sterling. Trinity Catholic shuts out the Black Bears tonight, 21-0.
A little quieter college football weekend. K-State off this weekend. HCC off, pressure off the edge. Throw over the middle, pop, picked off! at the 45 and is picked off by Owen Schmidt. And that should be the nail in the coffin as he returns it to the 32-yard line.
Great job by Owen Schmidt. Every D-back that's ever played football, they have a tip drill where you practice the ball getting tipped up in the air and then trying to make a play on it. That's exactly what Owen Schmidt did, and good to see that sophomore tip the scales of the turnover margin our way with Buhler's second time we've turned over Rose Hill tonight.
Well, it was a tough loss last week for KU. Lost on the last drive of the game. And Jalen Daniels hurt his shoulder. Looks like he's out this week. Sooners have lost 3 in a row. Brendan Skripsic in at quarterback now, and they haven't just lost 3 in a row. They've gotten handled 3 games in a row.
Careful.
Hey, call a spade a spade. Out of the I formation. First down, a handoff.
Quarterback Brendan Skripsic hands the ball off.
It's Cruz Hirschberger
at the 30. So can the Jayhawks go into Norman and win? That is the question.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. You know, how motivated is OU at this point? You know, they've gone through some tough injuries. You know, losing Dylan Gabriel really was a game changer for them, as you know their backup really hadn't done much. But yeah,
I don't know. Jason Bean's going to play quarterback for the Jayhawks. It's interesting. A reporter for the Lawrence Journal-World came out this week and said he was done for the season. And then a few minutes later, Jalen Daniels tweets, well, that's news to me. And they fired the guy.
They did. Wow, I didn't hear that. Wow.
Out of the I formation. Here's Hirschberger again.
Fake news.
Forward progress to the 28-yard line. Yeah, he tweets out that Daniels is done. Daniels disputes it, and they fire the guy on the spot.
Wow.
Get your facts straight,
well,
Jack.
I'm glad you don't do that with us if we call out the wrong guy making a tackle. But no, really neat now the Crusaders starting to work in some of those young guys.
In here.
Yeah, I saw Jordan Beckman checking in, Lucas Anderson checking in as well.
Quentin Paisano's out there.
Logan Briner's out there at end. Of course, Gazaway's in at fullback.
They're down in 6. Here is Skripsic handing off to Hirschberger, looking for some space on the outside. You mentioned Beckman in there now.
Austin Savoy just checked in as well. As Buhler continues to trickle in guys. Carter Jones now checking in for the Crusaders as well.
Brady Gotti was out there momentarily. That's my favorite part of the game, buddy. We get down to this and we get to
call some of the young guys or guys that don't get to play as much. So yeah, it's important for them as they've been working hard too, and good to see them out there working as Buhler's about one play away from ending this thing.
Fourth down and 6. Hirschberger trying to bounce outside. He's going to be tackled, and the turnover and downs. Rose Hill's going to get it back with 34 seconds to go in the game. Here's going to keep their starters in on defense.
I don't want anything crazy to happen here at the end of the game. Defense has only surrendered that field goal clear back in the first quarter, which that field goal feels like it was about 10 years ago.
Rose Hill will have this at their own 30. They can hold on here for 34 seconds. 2 touchdowns in 4 games given up. That's pretty good.
That's a fantastic stat for Buhler.
Roberts out of the gun on first down. Target on the near side at the 35, incomplete.
Well, and you go back to one of the touchdowns last week was
just that one big play
on
down
the
the
special
sideline.
teams trouble. So So the defense itself has only given up 2 scores.
Yeah, and one of the other touchdowns they gave up.
2nd and 10, clock stop, 27 seconds to go in the game. Roberts takes the snap, wants to throw, a hit, and brought down for a loss back behind the 25-yard line, back at the 23.
Yeah, quarterback sack that time by
trying to see the number.
Chase Gentry. Chase Gentry getting the QB sack.
Crusader football tonight, as that should do it. Brought to you in part by shy of the first down, and that'll do it. Brought brought to you by Prairie Star Health Center, by Hutchinson Community College, and by Fee Insurance. Crusaders win their 4th straight, and they are above 500 on the year now. 4-3, 21-3 is the final here in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. Our Crusader Locker Room Show begins next here on HKFM of the Crusader Sports Network.
Crusader football continues next with the Crusader Locker Room Show. On the way, Aaron and Chris recap tonight's game, and we'll hear the post-game thoughts of head coach Steve Warner. Your home for the Buhler Crusaders is 95.9 HKFM.
Hi, this is Kathy from Midwest Iron, inviting you to help the environment and put a little cash in your pocket by bringing us your recyclable metals to 700 South Main and Hatch. Have questions? Give us a call at 620-662-0551. Midwest Iron, recycling for tomorrow's environment.
You already know H&R Block does taxes, but you may not know you can get expert help in person or virtually, or that our tax pros average 10 years of experience. You can even request the same tax pro every year, and your biggest possible refund is always guaranteed. At H&R Block, help is here. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantees.
Stop by H&R Block in Lyons, Ellsworth, or Hutch today.
Mayhem is everywhere. Protect yourself. Hi, I'm Andrew Parr, your Allstate agent in Hutchinson. Protection shouldn't be pricey. Call me today or stop by the office at 13th and Main in Midtown Hutchinson for a free quote. Are you in good hands?
At Dick's Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
The weather is changing and fall is here. Holly with Holly Sweet Treats. Come try our new fall flavors and be sure to order your Halloween cookies, cupcakes, and autumn treats. Follow us on social media. Come see us at 205 South Main in Hutchinson or call 888-YUM to place your order today.
Hi, this is Brett Henry, and for the past 75 years at Adams Brown Barron and Ball, we've served Kansas and America. To celebrate our 75th anniversary, we have rebranded to Adams Brown, Strategic Allies, and CPAs. For more information on our exciting changes, check out adamsbrowncpa.com and see why we are above and beyond.
Hi, this is Jen Stallman with the Buhler Booster Club. Booster Club supports all student activities and athletics. Please consider membership in our Booster Club to help support all students at Buhler High School. Follow the Buhler Booster Club and the Buhler Crusader Closet on Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date. Thanks for the continued support of our generous donors.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And welcome in our Crusader Locker Room Show from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. Tonight, Buhler gets the win, 21-3. Wellington beating Circle. That's a score we just got in, 38-27 at the end of the third. Wellington came to play here late in the season, huh? How about that?
Your alma mater. I know you.
I'm a proud
you,
Crusader.
You and Carson want to be able to talk about the old. Yeah, I know. Your grandpa and family down there. But, yeah, no, I tell you, well, the thing about Wellington, you know, they got saddled with some of those early losses. I mean, having to play Collegiate and, of course, Andale, which is just a juggernaut. So, you know, 2 of their 3 losses were to really good squads. And, yeah, I mean, the fact that they took Mcpherson to the wire, and something that gives me some hope for next week is just from talking to the voice of the Pups, Grant Barrett. He said, you know, when Wellington really changed that game around, they just started running the ball right down McPherson's throat, and McPherson really didn't have an answer. So, obviously, what's our strength? Running the football. So, it'll be interesting to see.
I'm going to have to, you know, we're good friends with Grant, and I have to give him a little rub about being glass half empty there. You got to stay positive. Boy, speaking of that, Coach and I talked about this a number of times. Buhler was 0-3. And they could have folded the tent after that Great Bend team, and I don't think anybody, Great Bend game, I don't think anybody would have been surprised. But they did not, and just the response out of these kids has been fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like we've seen 2 different seasons played this year. You know, you go to that game after Great Bend when we're at home, we kind of feel a little bit of pressure. You know, we got to get some things done. And the ball starts to roll our way in that game, and the energy completely switched. You know, they felt a little bit of the crowd and the student section being into that. But I think that some guys got a little injured, and they started focusing on one side of the ball, and it's really helped them. You know, I see Tavian Gilliam out there really bringing the energy level that we didn't see in the first 3 games. And Jace Henderson, when he has played, he's brought that as well. But the energy on the sideline we've talked about is completely different.
Yeah.
It's amazing. They're really building. Everybody down there believes in what they're doing, and you have to have that to be a successful team.
We interview Coach Coles in our pregame every week. I love getting to talk to him. He's just a positive energy guy, and I think he's one of the best defensive coordinators in 4A football. And man, this defense has looked good the last 4 weeks.
They have. Yeah, we were talking about the limiting touchdowns. You know, the first 3 weeks, our opponents were averaging over 30 points a game, and then, yeah, after that 3rd game, you talk about the Winfield game
giving
where
up 2 touchdowns.
You win in a shutout. You win 10-0. It's a hard-fought defensive game, and just since that point forward, they play with a lot of confidence. And the neat thing, too, you know, teams can take away your offense. That's just the nature of football. But the only way your defense can get taken away is if the officials call enough penalties to really slow you down. But, you know, this defense has just continued to get better, to gel. And like you mentioned, you know, guys like Tavian Gilliam, they've gotten so much better in the secondary that really have become a huge asset. You match that with the D-line that just brings relentless pressure. And of course, the linebacking core has really done a great job as well. And, I feel good about the way we're playing. You always want to go into the playoffs and the postseason with some momentum. And what better than to have the big rivalry game in your regular season finale here at home?
I'm not going to be nervous at all next week.
No.
Yeah.
But
totally chill.
Yeah, you mentioned it's at home, though. That's crazy. You know, we get it back-to-back years, the COVID snafu, where we couldn't have fans here for a period of time. So we chose to go play with fans at Mcpherson.
This will be the 3rd straight year the game's been here, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'll check on that. But still, back-to-back is crazy.
There was the one in there that we went to Mcpherson. The game was here last year.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. I think it was 2019. We'd have to go look.
Well, 20 we went to MAC.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Okay. So this is 21, 22, 2 in a row here. We'll take it.
Yes.
And I think they've got a real shot next week.
Yeah, I really do too. And, you know, we need it to probably be a low-scoring game. I mean, but the neat thing is with Matt Eddy, anything's possible. And, it'll be fun.
All right, let's get the thoughts of our head coach, Coach Steve Warner. Coach, love the energy out of your kids tonight. Came out ready to play right away and really kind of dominated this game from the start. Gave up the field goal early, but I still, even with that, felt like you guys pretty much in control of the game most of the night.
I felt like we were too. So proud of our kids. And, wow, and Coach Coles and the defense, I just can't say enough about all of it. I mean, number one, we go 0-3. And kids could have quit. They could have written off the season, and they didn't. They just kept fighting. And we kept telling them, we just stick together. We're going to have a good football team by the end of the year. Sure enough, I feel like we're becoming a good team. I thought last week I saw glimpses of our offense starting to rock and roll. And we certainly did in the second half by not having we didn't have to throw. We ran the ball and milked the clock. Call it conservative if you want. You can call it Steve Warner football, but if we get the W and we just milk the clock, we're going to do it. And we'll take it. But just the kids, the offensive line, because, again, we were outsized, outmanned, and our offensive line just did a great job of getting off the ball. But I haven't watched film yet, but some of the combo blocks are some of the best I've seen all year long.
Wow.
So just very, very proud of the kids for continuing to work. And again, our defense, wow, outstanding.
All right, Coach, I asked the question before that drive before the end of the half. You scored the touchdown. Before the drive started, I said, I wonder if Coach is going to let Matt Eddy loose. And, that catch he made at midfield is one of the best I've ever seen.
It was really amazing, and it was great, too, because it was a great job by Jeffrey. We had a shorter route called, the audible to the fade route, which we talked about at the timeout. If they get press coverage, we're going to go ahead and go vertical, and sure enough, he did. And Matthew being an unbelievable catch, and the throw was perfect, too. And another thing we did, that our offensive line did a great job of, was protecting level. He had plenty of time to throw. One time he kind of got hit as he was getting thrown, but that's a little bit his fault because he went too far and he needs to wait on his lineman to come. But this line did a great job there too. So, and how about not having Jace and our little quick two guys that just play unbelievable. But they got held the entire first half, and finally the last play of the half they called it. And it just happened a lot that they got held a lot. And kids can't block them. They're so quick and aggressive, and just to turn them loose. And the amazing part is they stopped the run too. They're just very proud of basically everybody. We've won 4 in a row, and we couldn't be playing any better right now. I mean, we're on our way, and Jace hopefully will be back. Mitchell hopefully will be back, and we'll be ready for Mcpherson.
Yeah, there was that play. I think you had Cash Carson in there at offense at one point, right? And you throw into him, goes to make the catch,
yes.
And he got swallowed up by a linebacker. And I was like, oh, please, get up, please. And he popped right back up. So he's a tough kid.
That's Cash. He's just a very, very tough kid. And he's got great hands. I wish he was 6 foot tall, but we definitely knew on that play we wanted to target him because he's been catching the ball very well. And just, again, proud of them all.
What's a difference, you think, in your defense, Coach, from the first 3 weeks now, 4 weeks where you've allowed defensively, given up just 2 touchdowns in those 4 games?
Well, look at how we're playing with our defensive backs. They may catch a pass, but there's people all around them going to hit them. And I think it just took that long to be able to teach the kids. These are all new starters, and 2 of them sophomores. Yeah, well, Mitchell didn't get to play now, but sophomores and then some juniors, and now 2 seniors with Bryce playing. But and getting that real speed and being able to play at a high level. I think a lot of it just has to do with just coming to work every day and the drills that we do, that Coach Gray does with the D-backs. And the other thing is our D-line getting pressure on the quarterback. The more pressure we get on, the more they run around. And the linebackers are stopping the run for the most part. At times tonight we didn't do as good a job as we would like, but how can we complain about only 3 points given up? So that's 4 games and 2 touchdowns by the defense. I think that's pretty amazing.
All right, Coach. Well, I wouldn't have believed it week 3, but you guys now in a position where you could potentially be at home for a good portion of the playoffs, depending on what happens next week. And that's crazy to think about after the 0-3 start. But
we sure talked about it before the game, how important this was to be able to host it, the first round of the playoffs. And if we can just continue to get better and better every game. Jeffrey's getting better. He had, with the interceptions, he had 1 tonight, but that was, a ball that was kind of dropped. And so just everything seems to be getting better at the right time. And I can't say enough about the kids and how well they're playing.
All right, Coach. Well, root my Jayhawks on this weekend, would you? And we'll talk to you Monday night.
I sure will. Thank you.
Head coach Steve Warner, and I always love talking to a happy coach. It just makes everything better, doesn't it?
No doubt, no doubt. You could just hear how pleased he was. It was a great, team effort. You think about all the different facets of the team that he mentioned tonight contributing. It really, and just football, it is the greatest team game because, he's talking about how, the secondary's gone. Teams can go 1 of 2 ways. They can, start off hot and then go the wrong direction, but the guys are doing a great job of just continuing to get better, and hence why we've won 4 in a row.
I know we've talked about it a lot, but we are getting pressure on the quarterback with 2 defensive tackles, both sophomores. One weighs 138 pounds and the other weighs 120. Love watching those guys play.
Yeah, and 2 just wants to figure out ways to be able to be dominant and use what he has. And those guys with that wrestling background are able to show up consistently. We see guys also liked how Coach talked about the offensive line because we don't talk about it much, but boy, have they gotten better. And you got to have a great offensive line to run the football, and they showed up tonight and did very well against a much larger
Monday night. And that's when a lot of those guys had just, there have been some changes, injuries, and 2 or 3 of those guys got pulled up from JV, and I think they had it was right after a rough Great Bend game, and I remember talking to, I think it was Ryland Parks about it, and he said, hey, no.
A lot of people rotating through different spots and, due to the injuries, but, they're gelling. They're getting better, and Coach was talking about the combo blocks tonight, and that's really kind of, as a running team, your bread and butter. Got a combo, get the first level taken care of so then you can start working on that second.
It shows you how shallow I am. Anytime he says combos, I think of the little snacks.
Making me hungry now.
All right, we'll come back, get your final stats, some final scores, and our player of the game. We'll do all of that next, the Crusader Locker Room Show here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
More of the Crusader Locker Room Show is next. Stay tuned as we name tonight's play and player of the game. Stream Crusader football on your phone or tablet with the Ad Astra radio app. 95.9 HKFM.
Our kids have lots of reasons to celebrate. Before dropping your kid off at the party, create an exit plan to help make good choices. Talk with your child about what to do when faced with difficult decisions about alcohol. Come up with a plan together to avoid drinking, such as texting a code word to a family member or practicing how to say no thanks in a safe environment. For tips on how and when to begin the conversation, visit resources at riseupreno.org. Rise Up, Reno.
Is your team paying too much for health insurance? I'm Ashley McClure with IVP Benefits Consulting Group. As an independent agency, we represent every major carrier and can find your company the best rates available. Call me today at 620-904-7010 or go to ashliecanhelp.com.
Even trying to enjoy a fun event can be difficult after the loss of a loved one. Unanswered questions, feelings of stress and grief are only natural. As the owner and director of Inman Funeral Home, I bring over 25 years of experience bringing comfort and empathy during time of loss. Rely on me to guide you through all aspects of planning a funeral service with compassion, dignity, and respect. I'm Athena Johnson with Inman Funeral Home. Find me at inmanfh.com.
Hey guys, how's practice going?
Papa, I can't hit the ball over the fence yet.
Well, Easton, that fence is 300 feet away and you're only 4 years old.
Papa, how long before we can hit the ball over the fence?
Boys, it's not always about home runs, it's about teamwork and always getting better. Ray Riffing's been around for 83 years and we still believe in teamwork and working hard.
So, Papa, it's going to take 83 more years until we're good?
No, Brogan, you'll be good long before that. Just keep working hard. Most of all, have fun.
Let's go hit some baseballs and get some ice cream.
Okay, boys, let's go.
Riff the right way, the Ray way.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And our coverage tonight brought to you in part by Morton Salt, by IVP Benefits Consulting, by Ad Astra Virtual Academy, Inman Funeral Home, and by Summit Surgical. Get our player of the game and some other things coming up. First, Christopher, let's take a look at those final stats.
And as always, we want to thank Mr. Ethan Ricker. He does a great job of keeping us posted on the statistics. And so we'll get in here. Final stats, Buhler with total offense, a big advantage here, 346 yards compared to Rose Hill's 160. Buhler averaging almost 6 yards a play. Through the air tonight, Jeffrey Neal goes 6 of 12 for 132 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT, compared to Roberts, who goes 10 of 22 for 69 yards and an INT. On the ground, Buhler outgains Rose Hill 214 to 91 yards. We'll take a look at those individual rushing numbers. Matt Eddy, leading rusher for the Crusaders, 33 carries for 184 yards and a touchdown. Jeff Neal, 3 carries for 13. Cruz Hershberger, 9 carries for 13. Braden Gentry, 2 carries for 4 yards. For Rose Hill, their leading rusher, Bowden Whitted, 11 carries for 50 yards. And then Pierce Probasco goes 12 carries for 35. Luke McLaughlin had that 1 carry for 16. Receiving, Matt Eddy, big night, 4 catches for 69 yards and a touchdown. Luke Gotti had his 157-yard touchdown reception, and Braden Gentry had 1 catch for 6 yards. Ben Peck, leading receiver for Rose Hill, 4 catches for 27 yards. Connor Wallace with 2 catches for 16. Luke McLaughlin, 2 catches for 13. And taking a look at some of the overall team stats, Buhler tonight, at least for 30 yards. Rose Hill had 5 for 60. And those are kind of all the stats and note that I can see from perusing him.
All right, I always like to find a stat of the game. Our Phillips stat of the game brought to you by Dick's Phillips 66. Fill up on top-tier gasoline, snacks, and more at Dick's Phillips 66 was the 22 pass attempts. And the makeup of that Rose Hill offense, they are not going to win trying to throw the ball 22 times.
No, and you saw it from the way that they called their passes. They threw in max protection. They threw in their extra running back and just sat him behind their center and dropped their quarterback even farther to make it harder on him just because they didn't want him to get sacked. So they weren't very confident in it, and the fact that they went there so much. shows you how much the Crusader defense had them flustered.
The other big number, 346 yards. That's a little more kind of what we're used to with this Crusader offense.
Yeah, anytime you put up over 300 yards of offense, it's probably going to show up in the scoreboard. And, yeah, that was good to see in a very efficient night. You know, that's the thing. We don't have to throw for 1 billion yards, but just be efficient. And the efficiency in the passing game was much improved this evening.
All right, tonight's rising star of the game brought to you by Rise Up Reno. Rise Up Reno Prevention Network, working to strengthen families and promoting healthy behaviors. Rise Up Reno, I feel like, you know, we talked about it, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys we could have given that to tonight. But I just kind of judge on, okay, whose name did we say the most? Well, it's always Matt Eddy, but we can't make him player of the game. Well, we could, but I was really impressed with that secondary as a unit. And then Jeremy, first 3 weeks, and again, guys that could have put their heads down and given up, but I love the way they're playing right now. So Jeremy Gentry, our rising star of the game.
No doubt. Yeah, they really have continued to get better as the years gone.
Played here, played middle linebacker, kicked. So, you know, those guys stick together, play defense, play hard. Love watching them play.
Good stuff tonight.
Building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755.
Rise and shine. It's daylight time and time to go to your happy place. With kids back in school, that means fall flavors are returning to your line and have them ready to pick up by going to HutchinsonDaylightDonuts.com. At 3rd and Main and 1435 East 30th, we're your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts.
110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler. Or give us a call at 620
Park makers, rooftops, HVAC containment, refineries, garages, and more rely on the quality and integrity of WIFCO products. Go to WIFCOSP.com for more. WIFCO Steel Products, the experts in steel fabrication.
Huttrek is celebrating 75 years in 2022. Since 1947, Huttrek has been the local recreation provider for Hutchinson and Reno County. Huttrek is more than sports, wellness, and community events. We're an agency with 10 divisions, united in a vision to provide our local residents with lifelong wellness, cultural, natural, and recreational opportunities. Follow Huttrek on social media and at huttrek.com all year long as we celebrate 75 years as your local recreation provider.
At Fee Insurance Group, we've been working side by side with our clients for more than a century, helping them prepare for the unexpected and supporting the teams, schools, and communities we all care about. Fee Insurance, forward together.
Crusader football on HKFM.
All right, let's come back and take a final look at our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. Chris, let's start with finals on the network tonight.
Yep, we'll go right down the line on 94.7 tonight. Up at Lions, Southeast of Saline beats the Lions 94-0. On Mix 96.7, Smoky Valley gets a big win over CKL foe Hillsboro 50-6. Still don't have a final on that Mulvane Mcpherson game, but on Kansas Rocks 100.3. Trinity Catholic shut out Sterling tonight 21-0. On Kicks Country 106, Andale shuts out the Cheney Cardinals 32-0. And then on Sports 1 on the AdAst Radio app, 6-man action, the number 1 team, and 6-man Cunningham ends Burton's night at the half 72-0. And those were all the games across the AdAstra Sports Network tonight.
Still going, what is it, 10:18 to go, Carson, in the fourth, or they updated that?
Yeah, they got it down to 2:47, but the score is still the same. Circle has had opportunities. They came back within 3 now. Wellington still leads 38-35.
All right, a tight win, and that has big implications in this playoff race. Other scores, Mays dominates Hutch tonight, 41-13. Abilene all over Augusta, 35-14. Salina Central beat Goddard tonight, 47-12. Conway Springs over Inman, 35-14. First loss of the year for the Teutons. That was a 3-3 Conway Springs team with a huge win tonight for them. Labette County beats Independence 30-23. Aquinas over Blue Valley, 44-14. Garden Plain, over Douglas, 49-10. Ellsworth beats Halstead, 37-19. Eudora, 45, Tonganoxie, 7. Holton beats Hayden, 37-13. Derby over Maize South tonight, 55-7. Lewisburg blanks Ottawa 44-0. Other scores: Pratt 55, Nickerson 14. Just going on down the list here, seeing if there's anything else that might stand out. Capon and St. James were tied at 21. St. James, of course, the defending champions in 4A. Going into the fourth, they were tied at 21, and I think that is about it.
Did we ever see a Dodge City score?
I have not seen.
Isn't that the Hatchet game?
It's tomorrow, though.
Oh,
it's the special
tomorrow
Saturday night.
There you go.
In Wichita, they're playing the Hatchet game at Riverfront Stadium.
They had
tomorrow night, and I believe Jeff Wells has talked to him this week. He's reffing that game.
Well, and I'm glad to talk about this. I get goosebumps talking about it. My grandma is a Dodge City High grad. She was a Red Demon through and through, and she's gone now. But my grandma was one of the most mild-mannered people you'd ever know. But she had a placed disdain for Dodge City and the Hatchet game, and it's I don't know. It's funny because I was talking. You were mentioning Jeff Wells. You know, his parents are both from Garden City, so me and him had an interesting conversation this summer about how, you know, he was taught about the Dodge people being not good, and I was taught about the Garden people not being good. Yet we were having that conversation. So
nice. Eisenhower did beat Salina South tonight, 42-7. Final there. So those are the scores that we have for you in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. Sterling College football coming up on the network tomorrow. That'll be an afternoon kick at Friends. A 1 o'clock kick, 12:30 the pregame tomorrow here on HKFM. KU at Oklahoma is an 11 o'clock kick, and 9:30 for the pregame tomorrow morning on 94.7 KSKU. And then coming up Sunday, Chiefs host Buffalo. Here's an interesting stat. Buffalo is a 2.5-point favorite in that game. First time in his career that Patrick Mahomes has not been favored at home to win.
Wow.
So
interesting.
Now, you know, that is, I believe, 3:25-ish kick from Arrowhead, 2 o'clock for the pregame on 96.7.
Yeah, you're spot on the kickoff time because we were supposed to have youth football practice tomorrow, but I had a few coaches remind me that it would be in the middle of the Chiefs game, so we gave the kids the night off.
All right, big one next week. It'll be senior night. Come out and support our Crusaders, honor our seniors. A couple of other opportunities. Do want to mention kind of senior week this week. Volleyball has their senior night coming up this week. Soccer does as well. And so do get out and support those kids. Tennis is at regionals. Olivia Frederick made it through in singles through the second round, won her match. And then Caleb Babcock and Tegan Nickel won theirs as well, so they'll be playing tomorrow. And then golf is at State on Monday. There's a lot happening.
Yeah, the fall this time of the season or time of the year gets crazy in high school sports in Kansas.
See you Monday. Our Crusader Coaches Show will be on at 6:30 to talk Crusader football live from Taco John's. And next Friday night, does anybody know who we play Friday? Somebody help me.
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Those guys up north, maybe? Is that who it is?
Yeah, Buhler, Mcpherson. By the way, Babcock and Nickel fell in their quarterfinal match, 6-1 to 6-4. They'll be on the backside tomorrow. Olivia Frederick also falls in the quarterfinals, 6-1, 6-2. So they'll have to battle their way to the backside of the bracket coming up tomorrow. Thanks, gentlemen. Enjoy your weekend.
We're glad to have you back, Aaron.
Yes.
It's good to be back.
This was a relaxing night compared to last week.
Yeah, I listened, and you guys did fine.
Oh, I'm glad you felt that way.
Yeah. All right, for Chris Shank, Carson Moeller, and our entire crew, the Crusader Sports Network, appreciate you tuning in. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Friday. Talk to you next Friday, 6:20 for the pregame. Buhler and Mcpherson here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network. Crusader football tonight from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth.